Good morning, I'm Eric Reeser. As bad as it seems for the Blue Jackets on the ice, Columbus is still alive for a playoff spot. CBJ dropped their fourth straight game last night at Nationwide, a 5-2 loss to the Hurricanes. But the other teams chasing the Jackets for that final wild card also lost on Tuesday. Jackets have 88 points and trail the Islanders by 2 points for the third place spot in the Metro. Columbus will skate in Carolina Thursday with 6 left to play. In baseball last night, the Dodgers beat the Guardians 4-1. The Reds fell to the Pirates 8-3. Cincinnati will host Pittsburgh in the series rubber match today at 12:40. Over at Huntington Park, the Clippers beat the Indians 3-1. In golf, we're 9 days out from the Masters. Tiger Woods will not be playing at Augusta. Woods says he's taking time away from golf. He faces 3 misdemeanor charges, including DUI, after a crash last week in Florida. No word on his status for the U.S. Senior Open, but he has registered for that event on July 2nd. This update is sponsored by Eco Plumbers. Get $500 in free plumbing repairs when you buy a new water heater. Visit geteco.com and book today.
Your morning just got more interesting. Distilled and barrel-picked for your listening pleasure. Bo Bishop, a local sports media legend. What William T. Sherman was to the Union Army, he is to Northern College football. A husband, a father, and middling youth sports coach. He's friends with Central Ohio sporting royalty.
I'm talking to Ohio State Athletic Director Ross Bjorken. Coach Day walking on with us right now. Good to see you, buddy. Good buddy Austin Ward. My good buddy Tim May, the Tim May Show. The great Doug Lavery's joining us.
Hi, everybody. Dom Tiberi here.
Oh, Reese came in and he handed me papers.
Yeah,
and then
it's a rundown.
And then he said, "You see that button? That's the only button you need to worry about. Don't touch. There's 8,000 buttons in front of me." Oh, I didn't know what he was talking about.
The one that says on.
We blew the budget on this imaging, and only 2 guys answered our ad on Craigslist. Ryan Baker and Eric Reeser. Act accordingly. You're now listening to Bishop and Friends.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years.
All right, let's do it live on a First Friday Miracle edition of the program. Bo and the boys with you for the next 3, locked and loaded. Holy smokes, Mike Rapoli. He is the owner of the entire league that the Columbus Aviators participate in. He is the benefactor of the St. John's basketball team. He's really one of the most brilliant billionaire serial entrepreneurs you're ever going to find. He's going to join us at 9:30. Coming up at 10 o'clock, a little bit of higher or lower. Jake Trotter going to join at 10:30. At 11, time for you to get involved. Little hey guys, get your questions into the fellas at 971-BFS. Also get your officially endorsed coming up at the end of the program. There was a... For the kids out there, there was a cartoon series that was an actual cartoon in the newspaper. There used to be these physical pieces of paper that would be delivered to your house, and in them were various sections: the news, the metro, the sports, the weather, the comics. So there was a section there, and then there was a live action cartoon that went along with that. And the live action cartoon really had a lot of legs around the Thanksgiving and the Christmas holidays, very similar to all of the ones that used to air during those times. You see, the life didn't used to be as on demand as it is now. You couldn't just watch anything you wanted whenever you wanted to watch it. You had to wait. And this cartoon series was a series called Peanuts. I was never a Peanuts guy. Never was. I just don't know how you could compare it to the Bugs Bunny and the various other cartoons that were out there. I was never a Peanuts guy. Never took it in. Was never a big fan of it. I wasn't really much of a comic guy. My dad, who has very little sense of humor, did love the comics for some reason. Loved it. Ate it up. The newspaper version of it. In this series called Peanuts, there was a character named Charlie Brown where he just couldn't get anything to ever go his way. And one of his adversaries, as my memory serves it in my mind's eye, was Lucy. And there's a GIF that even if you are unaware of any of the things I've just seen, or just said rather, you probably are aware of. And it's a GIF of young Charlie Brown trying to kick a football and Lucy pulling the football out from under, and then he falls flat on his back. And it's something that we say a lot in sports, like Charlie Brown and Lucy pulling the football out. It's something we talk about a lot in terms of getting close, but not all the way there. And I was texting with a buddy of mine last night who was lamenting the latest Blue Jackets loss. This one 5-2 to Carolina. Carolina's just better. I mean, they're better from the jump. They're better right away, and they're a team that can win the cup. So that they're what you aspire to be. And he said, we can't get a break. And I said, no, there is a Charlie Brown feel to this, that you put your best foot forward. And then I started to think, well, how many times have we been in this spot in the last 20 years where you're relentlessly chasing the 8 and you're hanging on for dear life? I remember several times at least a couple of times when I was at Channel 10 and it would cover the last game of the season. You need a couple of things to happen, and then it didn't, or the last couple of games of the season. I remember one vividly where you needed a couple of things to happen out west, and I did a live shot for Wall-to-Wall Sports at the arena that was empty, and the Jackets had lost, and some of the stuff around the country didn't go their way either, and they were annihilating the ice, melting it and scraping it away, and you just thought, God, that sucks. That's too soon to have that happen right away. All of that to say, I don't think that's going to happen this time, because I don't think that the teams that are chasing them are doing any better than they are. They're all losing. So big picture, though, the way that this team is going about its business, the way that the injuries are starting to stack, even if they do find a way to slunk into this thing, nothing's going to happen once they get there because of what's happening right now. And that's that Charlie Brown feel to it, where even if you get in, you're not as dangerous. They were playing their best coming out of the break, and now they're in their first kind of extended swoon of the bonus era, and you're running a little bit out of time. I still am confident that they are going to get there, just because of what's around them is falling off, and they haven't been able to make up ground. But it's hard to not feel like Charlie Brown in this moment.
Yeah, the football being pulled away at the last second's a good analogy. I thought about him on the mound, Charlie Brown, with the rain cloud that just appeared over him. And much to that being how Jackets fans feel right now, where everybody, I mean, the Carolina Hurricanes are getting 100 points. The Islanders, despite a loss, are still in that third spot in the Metro. And here are the Blue Jackets for however many seasons this has been, where you feel great in March and then you just fall flat on your face. I think it's Charlie Brown that says "arg." And he yells it, and you can kind of like see the image in the comics if you because I did that all the time with the Dispatch on Sundays when they had like the giant like 4-page comic fold. But this just feels like same old Blue Jackets, and the rain cloud's always going to be on this fan base. And you saw a lot of it last night with the conversations, in the third period, especially after bonus has that failed challenge. Things just kind of pile, and Blue Jackets fans that normally skew pessimistic came out of the woodwork. And I don't think they're right, because I think the Jackets, despite how bad it was on the ice, there's still hope. There's still opportunity. You've got 7 to play, including maybe a get-back game, a get-right game Thursday in Carolina. The opportunity's still there. So it's kind of how you want to choose your own adventure as you're a Blue Jackets fan going down the stretch.
I understand the Charlie Brown analogy, but you've lost 5 of 6 and you're still in a playoff spot. Now, you could have been the Pittsburgh Penguins here, and you could have been the Boston Bruins, and you could have put a lot of distance, as they have done now. The Bruins have 94 points. The Penguins have 92. They've kind of separated a little bit here from the pack that's chasing the Blue Jackets. But everyone you needed to lose last night lost.
Yeah.
So you walk away from that spot. Detroit lost. Ottawa lost. Philadelphia lost. The Islanders, who are a point ahead of you in the Metro, lost.
Yep.
So not only are you waking up this morning still in a playoff spot, you're going to wake up tomorrow morning in a playoff spot, because there's 3 games on the hockey calendar today, and they're all in the Western Conference. So this is the worst stretch of hockey you have had since you've made the coaching change, and you're still in the playoffs. And I think last night there were a couple things. Carolina's really good. You mentioned it, Bo.
They were awesome.
They're tied for the lead in the East for the most points. Last time you played Carolina, which I believe was St. Patrick's Day, somewhere right around there, you walloped them. Walloped them good. So they were ready for last night. They wanted a little bit of revenge, and the penalties. Just, man, if there's one thing the Jackets really need to clean up right now, it's the penalties. 3 high-sticking penalties last night on this team. And then I don't get, you'll never convince me that they should have challenged that goaltender interference goal, because even then you still have a chance, if with a goal, to get that to overtime. Then they score on the power play, and it's pretty much dead right there. So I don't understand that. We've seen things that were way more egregious not get called goaltender interference this year, so I will never understand that challenge. But we've talked about this. I'm usually a very negative fan, but I'm still not with this. I'm still pretty confident. And I guess the one thing I keep pointing to, Ohio State was dead after Iowa, and then they weren't.
No, I think what you should point to, point to what I said off the top. Like, everybody's lost around them. It's no one has come for you. You're right. Pittsburgh and Boston have separated, but the Islanders are a point ahead of you, and you have a game in hand. So you're fine. You're fine. This isn't – I think they're going to get in. I just think big picture now, a week ago at this time, when you looked at power polls of NHL teams and they were sitting there at 6 on certain – I want to say ESPN had them at 6 a week ago at this time in the whole league. When you're that and you're playing that way, then not only can you get in, you can talk yourself into doing some damage. That's what's gotten harder. That's what's gotten harder. Talking yourself into doing damage once you get there. It's one thing to get there, but then how do we make sure that we have a little fun along the way? This is not a Stanley Cup contender, obviously. But is it a team that when they're playing it, they were over the last 3 weeks before this last stretch that would have given people fits and maybe even shocked somebody and won a round? Yeah, I could talk myself into that. But now that part, can they rediscover that? They're going to get in. They're going to get in. Your number was what, 97, 96?
Yeah, 96. Which that may not be. You may not need that.
Might not need it. It might be 94. I mean, you've got, so the Jackets sit here, they got 7 left. Point a game gets them to 95. There's no doubt that does it. No doubt. Because when you're thinking about the teams that you're chasing who are not playing well, now Detroit has a game in hand on you. I guess Ottawa does as well. But, geez, if Philly does.
You have a game with Detroit coming up here.
Yeah, those
it's huge. It's huge.
Those are your multi-pointers. So, yeah. Wasn't fun, but could have been a lot worse. Could have been a total disaster. Didn't happen because everybody around you fell as well. Some good news on the basketball side of things for the Buckeyes. We'll get into that, among other things, coming up next. Off and running on a First Friday. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
Tweet from a listener. Are you carrying the Buckeye game today? Considering we've never not carried one, yes. The answer is yes. The Fan.
This is Gordon Miller from Miller Lending, the original home of the no-cost mortgage. If you've been in the market for a new home or just wanted to take advantage of lower rates, recent events have shown exactly why Miller Lending chose to offer a way around bad timing with our no closing cost program. With no fees rolled in or charged, including the cost of title insurance, you can simply close on today's rates and refinance free of charge as rates improve. Over the past several months, we spoke to numerous borrowers who had heard rates were coming down and chose to wait. We explained that if rates did fall, you could simply update a few documents and refinance again, but why take the chance? So when rates spiked a 0.5% recently, not only was I disappointed that we couldn't help those who waited, but also for those buying a home who just saw a sharp increase to their monthly payment. So while we can't control the market, we can offer an alternative. Eliminate timing and say goodbye to closing costs forever. 877-9-NO-COST or simply apply online at nocostmortgage.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender and MLS number 250-2146.
With Aetna, I always get a quick answer, and I don't have to search on the internet. They go above and beyond to help me with whatever I need.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up on calls with members and doctor's offices when requested. We show up with access to convenient care options. We show up for you. Because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place. And are you tired of windows so drafty that your curtains blow in the wind even after you shut your windows?
Sounds like a problem, Wilson.
It's why at the other window place, we now offer curtain tie-downs.
Wouldn't just great non-drafty windows be the answer?
And tank the entire curtain tie-down market?
Get the windows that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
At Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good.
The savings are so good at Great Lakes. But have you seen our inventory? With over 1,000 new Hyundais to choose from, there's no need to settle at glakeshyundai.com. Find a new Palisade with the exact options you need, or a new Tucson in that color you have been seeing around town. Plus, every new Hyundai comes with Hyundai Assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile coverage. At Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings and selection are so good.
Your mornings are jam-packed. So So if you're going to add anything, make it your favorite bite from Tim Hortons. Buy any size beverage and add a daily baked donut for $1, a tasty bagel for $2, or a freshly cracked hot breakfast sandwich for just $3. It's the best way to add more to your morning. The 1-2-3 menu, only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, must ask for offer in restaurant. Tax extra. Exclusions and terms apply at timhortons.com/offer-terms.
The Jackets are making a push to the playoffs.
Islanders and Adam Fantilli. One more time. Puts it in the net.
Listen to every exciting moment, including an extended pregame show for weekend games. Proud to be your home of the Jackets. The Fan.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is, fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, commercial properties. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state.
ONN affiliate WBNS TV reports.
Haley Kirby reporting in downtown Toledo.
From the State House, Kevin Landers.
ONN Canton. ONN affiliate WKYC TV in Cleveland explains.
In Marietta, Brett Wharf, ONN News.
Emma Henderson in Genoa.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at ONNradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Scattered showers and storms on and off throughout the day today. Otherwise, mostly cloudy and mild with highs in the 60s. And then for tonight, we'll have those chances linger with lows down into the 50s. For Thursday, chances of showers and thunderstorms are back in the forecast with the best chances later in the day. Otherwise, partly sunny and breezy and warm with highs in the low 80s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
The radio couldn't contain us, so we've taken over YouTube. Catch Morning Juice weekday mornings at 6 by searching 971 The Fan. Do it. What's the weather outside? Who cares? Baker's in shorts. This is Bishop and Friends.
Are you, Bake?
Always. Come on now.
That's right. That's right. This is exciting. About 12 minutes from now, Mike Rapoli, co-owner of the United Football League. Of course, the Columbus Aviators will host the D.C. Defenders on Friday night. It is broadcast nationally on Fox at 8 o'clock, but you can be there in attendance, and he will join us in about 12 minutes. Really one of the smartest serial entrepreneurs you're ever going to find. You're talking about Glacio Vitamin Water, co-founder of that, Body Armor, among others, Pirates Booty, basically everything that's in my cabinet for the boys to suck down. He's been a part of. So excited to have him on in a couple of minutes. Excited to have Junie Mobley back, announcing yesterday that he will test the NBA draft waters on Tuesday. He stays in college. It'll be at Ohio State. I'm not entering the portal. If I return to college basketball next season, there will be one place for me, and that's in Columbus with Buckeye Nation. He'll be back. So now you're starting to see how this is coming together with Bynum and Mobley, and then point guard 5 in the portal. You saw Anthony Thompson. Did you watch it all last night, guys? The McDonald's game. I know, Bake, you were at the hockey. Reese, did you jump in on it?
I saw some highlights on Twitter, which really helps because I didn't know what was going on, and then you start to kind of see stuff trickle in on the social. Yeah, looks the part.
Yeah, so it was interesting. I watched for about 10, 15 minutes last night, and like I said, I've seen him play in person before, so kind of knew what to expect. What he did for Western Reserve, which is a prestigious prep academy up in Northeast Ohio, what he did for them, they ran a lot of things through him. What he did last night in this All-Star game was basically he would just kind of go to the corner and then hope that somebody would be unselfish and pass him the ball, because that's kind of what it was. It was not the most aesthetically pleasing.
Those games are tough because they're all awesome. They're all alphas. Yeah. And so I think 2 highlights I saw, I'm like, okay, I wonder about the transition from him if he's going to play the 3 or the 4 into the Big Ten. Like, how's that going to go?
Well, he's going to be I mean, how do they run offense through him? I mean, he's not. This is what I was saying, and I mean, he's the wings. The first thing that jumps out to you when you watch him play is the wingspan. I mean, it's 7 feet plus on the wingspan.
7'4".
It's stunning. Just the reach that he has. He's a legit 6'9", 6'10". So in that sense, he is like, people cringe when you say he's a stretch 4 because they, when you're that level, you want to be viewed as much more than that, obviously. But that will be the task: is can you run offense through him? Can he do some of the stuff that Devonsa did or Cam Boozer did? He's not, and I said this before, having seen him play a bunch. He's not like Darren Peterson, in that just get him the ball and go. He's not that. Darren Peterson's a 2. So it's a totally different position group as well. But I think he's one of those guys where if he gets the ball in a corner with space, you expect it to go in. So he's kind of built for the modern game.
Was it Fran Fraschilla that was on the call last night said when he came in the game that this is a guy that can really fill it up, and then he hit that corner 3. Yeah. And Fran was probably grinning like a fox eating Yellow Jackets. Prove me right.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, he did. And he can flat out shoot it. And now what the challenge will be for them will be body-wise, can he get to the point where he can contribute on a day-in, day-out basis? This is the first one of these that they've attempted to do. A true one-and-done.
He's got to be right-away guy.
He's got to. I mean, yeah, he's got to play 30 minutes a night, 35 minutes a night. He's got to average 16 and 6. I mean, that's probably a minimum requirement. He's a totally different player than Devin, and he's a big-time shot blocker, too. He'll block shots with the reach, and he's much better shooter than Devin. But, Devin was 14 and 6. I mean, that's the minimum jumping-off point. So we haven't had one of these in a while where guy comes in and it's he better be a 5-star one-and-done NBA guy. Is the last one? It's probably D'Angelo, but we didn't think it was going to be D'Angelo. Is there somebody who came? I'm trying to think if there's somebody in the last decade who came in and we thought would be a one-and-done and then wasn't.
I think it's been more. We thought they were going to be here for a year or 2 or 3 years, and then they were one and done. But no, I think D'Angelo's
and Branham, who were the other way.
Is it ridiculous to? If he is going to be one and done, then that takes out the. Can I see him in 3 years? Anthony Thompson being like a Yaxel Lendenborg if he's able to put on a ton of weight, but
I don't think with those measurables he'll ever get there.
Yeah,
he's always going to be 6'9", 6'10". He's always going to have a 7'4" wingspan. He's always going to be able to shoot it. So that's NBA drool. At that, that's everything that they want is that. So I think just prepare yourself for one and done. And then the thing that'll be really tricky for us next year is how do you put an expectation around him? How does that? Because I saw that firsthand with Kansas and Peterson this year, and there was a lot going on there. But I saw what those type of players are capable of. And then you saw Devonsa at BYU, and he basically was first team All-American. Boozer was too.
Kind of the difference between what Ohio State, because Ohio State's kind of more skewed towards what BYU was, where you have one all-time guy and a couple other guys that would probably be world travelers by the time their basketball careers are over. And then you had Kansas with Peterson and guys that will be on NBA rosters in the next 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a real test in roster building, I think. What Jake and the group are trying to do here. And I get it. I see what they're trying to do. So you've got your triumvirate set. Junie will play the 2, Bynum and Thompson on the wings. You need a veteran dude lead guard. And you probably, if you think of it in tiers, tier 1 would be the biggest game hunting that can be done out there at the point guard position. So that's going to be your Kansases, your Kentuckys, your Carolinas. They're going to be in those waters, like the tier 1 guys. With what Ohio State, and I don't know this for sure, but my hunch is what Ohio State is compensating Mobley, Thompson, and Bynum. I don't know if that they need to be either, to be fair. I don't know if they'll be in tier 1 point guard big game hunting or if they will be in tier 2 point guard hunting. My hunch is they would be in tier 2.
You shoot for tier 1 and hope to land in tier 2?
Yeah.
Because you can't afford a tier 3 guy.
No, you need a very stable floor general. And then you need a shot blocking big is what you need. You don't need anything offensively from the bigs. You need shot blocking. Like Okpara really is kind of like, that's the recipe. You need that type of guy that can block shots and do those things.
Can you turn Skulljack into a point guard?
Jeez. Well, he is is he in the portal?
No. I just want them to tamper really hard. It opens on next Tuesday.
Bo, if you just want shot blocking from a big, and obviously we don't know the health, I think you've got that on the roster already.
Yeah, I know. I don't think
Josh
they think that.
Ojonwuna.
I don't think they think that, Bake.
I mean, that's kind of what he was at Baylor, was just a defensive rebound, shot blocking, keep guys out of the post type big.
Yeah. I think they're hunting for that. I do. I think that they're looking for that. Thompson's the highest rated. You guys have this in the prep. Highest rated player to sign with the Buckeyes since Sullinger in 2010. So that's been a very, very long time. Around the rest of the sports world, the Lakers beating the Cavs last night. They are on such a tear right now. One of the things, it's not something we talk about a lot, but I've noticed over the last month as the Lakers winning streak they basically win 9 out of 10 games over the last month. LeBron he's the third. Very willing third option.
It's worked out really well for them.
It has. Reese, you've observed him as long as I have. I didn't know if he would ever do that, but he's done it.
It's the Luka effect, right? I mean, we could do this at the 10 o'clock hour. I know we're supposed to hear from Ryan Day, but Luka MVP conversation?
He should. I mean, he's right there. He should be. I mean, it'll be him and Wemby and SGA, I'm sure. But no, that is a situation where he has acquiesced, and he is the true third option. You just look at shot attempts, and that's what he is. I saw Ohtani got your guys last night.
He's an okay baseball player.
He's okay.
So he does well, and especially against teams that if they hit great. If they don't hit, you don't hear from them. In the Cleveland
little engine
Guardians.
that could. Engine that could, Dodgers.
Those pesky Dodgers.
Just trying to put two sticks together and create a fire. That's all they're doing out there.
Forever underdogs.
Just barely getting by. Good Lord.
I would love to go to a game out there, though. That's a bucket list.
You should. It's pretty spectacular the way that the sun hits there.
Think how good it's going to be when Ellie De La Cruz gets there.
Well,
he looked good in a Dodger blue.
Everybody does. Yeah. The thing that hits so perfect about Chavez Ravine is that every first pitch occurs as the Los Angeles sky goes purple from the sun. So it's basically the Rose Bowl every night is kind of the thing that you get when you watch games out there. This is exciting. He is the co-owner of the UFL. He is one of the smartest minds in entrepreneurship you're ever going to find. And he is the benefactor of the St. John's basketball program as well. Mike Rapoli going to join us in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Pepsi Prebiotic Cola in original and cherry vanilla. That Pepsi taste you love with no artificial sweeteners, only 30 calories, just 5 grams of sugar, and 3 grams of prebiotic fiber. That great Pepsi taste with even more to love. Pepsi Prebiotic Cola. Unbelievably Pepsi.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. As a longtime homeowner, I know how it goes when it comes to things that need to be fixed around the house and you just haven't gotten to them. Like maybe that leaky faucet that always has a drip. You think about it, but you never take care of it, and now it's just a part of the house. It's character. Maybe it's your windows that are always sticking and you can't get them open. So you just don't think about it. Who cares? Except now the weather's nice. You want to open the windows, and again, you can't because they're not fixed. Get new windows from Window Nation. They've made it easy to get top quality custom fit windows with their the more you buy, the more you save sale. You could save up to 50% off all your windows. Plus, you could get them with 0 interest for 5 years. Did you know investing in your home is actually one of the best investments you can make, especially in uncertain times? Experts report that windows retain 80% of their value. Energy efficient, beautiful windows from Window Nation with great deals going on now. Schedule your free consultation at windownation.com.
Did your HVAC struggle through this rough winter? When it comes to your home comfort, trust the local experts at Columbus Worthington Air. Right now, you can save up to $2,000 on a new HVAC system with our trade-in allowance program. At CWA, we treat your home like it's our own with safe, reliable service backed by our exceptional service guarantee. Columbus Worthington Air and Bryant Heating and Cooling. Whatever it takes. Visit CWAOhio.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions. License number 47543.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for almost 80 years. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
What's up? What's up, man? What's up with you?
All right, here's what's up on a First Friday Miracle edition of the program. Co-owner of the United Football League, where your Columbus Aviators participate. Mike Rapoli going to join us here momentarily. The Aviators hosting the DC Defenders Friday night here in town. I think that there is a natural, for a lot of fans when it comes to spring football, there is a natural and probably deserved skepticism of the staying power. What I think you hope is different about this particular brand of spring football is that the man behind it rarely, if ever, misses. He just doesn't. He hits on most things he's done in his life and hits about as big as can be. And so for Mike Rapoli to want to be involved in this and see the potential growth for it ought to be a warm blanket over all of you in regard to if you should be invested in this. It's fair to ask those questions. It's fair to also say that this one feels a little bit different. Now, how it's going to be different is going to be a very, very interesting conversation. It's one we'll have right now. Mike, great to have you, co-owner of the United Football League, among other things. Before we get to the product and all of that, I gave a little bit of your bio here before you joined. When did you know that you were good at identifying things that people would want to do and participate in a mass market the way that you have?
I'm still trying to figure that out, Bo, but thank you for being so complimentary. You know, Bo, it's honestly, I've made this statement before. If something is 99% chance of making it, I have no interest. When something is a 1% chance, I become very excited. So it's more of a sickness than I think it is a talent. And, you know, listen, you know, Bo, I've been like this since a kid at St. John's University, and, you know, whether it's horse racing or beverages or snacks or Noble now and my Noble sneaker and apparel company. And horse racing, I mean, I'm 0 for 11 in the Kentucky Derby. I guess the good part is I got there 11 times, right?
Yeah.
And then I love football. And unfortunately, I'm the only billionaire that can't afford a football team. So I bought the United Football League instead. So there we go.
You said you have a sickness. You also have had the antidote because everything that you've talked about has worked in the biggest possible way. So why football? Why now? Why this league, Mike?
You know, Bo, it's a great question. I mean, I see what's happening with sports in general, but college football and pro football are the number 1 and 2 sports in America. Let's separate pro with college. College football is bigger than the NBA. College football is bigger than the NHL. College football. I mean, who's bigger in Columbus, Ohio State or the Columbus Blue Jackets? Right. It's a great hockey team, but it's about Columbus. So I just saw a need that football needs to have. It's a 12-month sport. I mean, your spring game at Columbus, I mean, how many people do you draw for that, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I just saw an opportunity for now being the time where, you know, it's not that listen, spring football has been around for 40 years, and it's died like 5 or 6 different times, but some bunch of idiots keep trying to make it work for a reason, right? So there's something there. And Bo, you know, thank you for sharing my history with the listeners, but I just think that it's about being patiently aggressive. Yeah, WNBA is just starting to take off right now, right? It's 25 years, right? I mean, someone's got to stick with it, and I really believe there's a couple things. One, ESPN, Fox, Danny Garcia, Redbird Capital, The Rock are all great partners, and then trying to pick the right formula, which are the right markets. But what I really think is the secret, Bo, after just being here 1 week, well, I've been doing it for 9 months, is the venue. You can't put – if we put the Columbus Aviators in the horseshoe, I mean, we draw 15,000 and it would be empty. But we're going to put them in a historic crew that fits 20,000. You know, hopefully we get, you know, we got 12,000 tickets sold. I think we're only selling 2,000 more, so the whole lower bowl can be filled up, and that atmosphere. And then I think the second thing is, you know, we got some Ohio State, some Big Ten players, and most importantly, we got an Ohio State legend in Teddy Ginn coaching the team. And I saw Teddy at the Orlando game, and he wasn't happy about losing. So I gave him some good news. I'm going to show up to this game, so I'm going to help him coach some plays with Todd Haley and everybody else, and we're just going to have a lot of fun because this is something that deserves to be here in the right market with the right venue, which Columbus is. I'm excited about.
Well, Mike, you're hitting all the right buttons here. Anytime you get involved, you get former Buckeyes, Big Ten guys. The name is cool, the logo's cool. 12,000. That's nothing to. That's nice. That's a nice number for the opener. I work in the NFL space a little bit, and you talk to NFL coaches at the combine, GMs, and one thing that they say is there is a need for their guys to play more football, and they want spring football. They need reps. Guys need reps. How do you? And I've always thought that ideally there is some sort of marriage. And I know we're not anywhere near that yet, but you mentioned a 20-year thing with the WNBA. What is your long-term vision for success for this league, and with this league, the success of the Columbus Aviators along with it?
Yeah, great question, bro. I mean, I started 2 beverage companies. One of them was Vitamin Water, one was Body Armor. Coca-Cola bought both brands. If I would have partnered with those guys day one, neither brand would have worked. Having a partnership with the NFL right now on what they think it's going to take or what they would like to do wouldn't be advantageous to the league. We have to build the United Football League like it's its own separate league, which it is. I do think eventually with the success that we're going to have, having, 10 or 20 players on a practice squad that are just sitting there not getting reps, I don't think that works. The NFL game is having a lot more injuries. What you just said is perfect. Why not give us 20 players on your contract? Why not give us the number 3 quarterback in your system and say, listen, just in case the top 2 get injured, which happens a lot, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. You know what? Let them get 10 games and 40 passes a game thrown here. So I think in the future there will be some synergies of us working closer together, but I can't run my league around what the NFL is doing. Hence, we will talk to them. We have a great relationship with them. I don't talk to them, but Russ Brandon, some of our coaches, Doug Wiley and Dave Dykman speak to them. And if they ask us, would you guys mind trying this for us this year? If it makes sense, we will. So we want to continue to see the NFL flourish. We want to continue to see college flourish. Obviously, with the NIL, college sports is changing. Having someone who plays at Ohio State for 4 straight years, probably I don't foresee it anymore. But football is still king. And, and I think people want to see this sport year-round.
Mike, how committed are you to Columbus as a long-term home for one of your franchises?
I think Columbus is, when I talk about checking the box, football crazy, no pro football team, even though I call Ohio State a pro football team, by the way.
So do we.
A pro football team. Yes, a pro football team, a market that has the right stadium. The venue. You guys have 2 because of the Crew. You guys were pioneers. That historic Crew Stadium that was built, I think, 20 years ago, was one of the first of its kind. And the ability that now they've built a new one. This is the best of all situations. We're in a great area. I was there for the launch with Cardinal Jones, and I'm excited. I'm going to be there Friday night. So I'm excited about being in the market, being at the game. It's going to be very exciting. But this is one of the only venues the only games that are going to be played are going to be ours, really, right? Other than high school games and things like that. So we're really, really excited about the area. We're really excited about the stadium. And I think it's going to be loud. And we got 12,000 sold now. And I think we're going to get, Gavin DeGraw is going to be singing at halftime. Teddy's got it. Listen, you can get seats for $14.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Come on, man. Friday night, $14. Listen, if you can't, if some listeners can't pay the $14 Bo, I already told him you would pay for half of them and I'll pay for the other half. Let's do this, all right?
Deal. I'm in. I'll get you out of here on this, Mike. I know your time is precious. We spend a lot of time talking about college sports around here, as you could probably imagine. We talk about the NIL component and all of it. I saw the extension for Patino. I saw the 5 to 10 year comments that you made. As someone who grew up on Mullen and Jackson and St. John's basketball and the sweaters from Louis Carnesecca, how much fun are you having with this?
You know, I mean, I feel like a 15-year-old kid that's sitting in the last row watching Chris Mullen versus Patrick Ewing versus Pearl Washington, except instead of that top seat was bad. Now I got the front row seat, but Rick keeps walking in front of me constantly on a regular basis, and I think I saw better up there. But, you know, there's nothing about – Ohio State has played at Madison Square Garden. When you play in front of 19,000 people at the Mecca, it's so special. And, you know, the last 20 years, we've had 6,000 in attendance, 3,000 for us and 3,000 for either UConn or Villanova or Georgetown. And now we, I mean, you know, this is the good news and the bad news. We beat UConn 2 out of 3 times, and they're in the Final Four, and we're not. So that's the only part that's hurting me right now, just so you know. But when UConn won, I was more pissed off than Duke fans. But to keep that between us, okay?
I will. Our little secret.
It's like when Michigan wins a national title. I don't think you two guys are pretty happy over there. So
no, we don't even say that team's name, Mike. So we have similar feelings on that.
Yeah. So, but we're excited. Columbus is a great market. I got to meet the mayor last time. It was a lot of fun. I wouldn't mind going to a Columbus Blue Jacket game. I think you guys have a Jeff Ruby's restaurant there, so I love the city, and I'll be there Friday night. So I'm excited to meet the fans and excited to meet everybody, and you know, let's. I mean, we had 1 million viewers watch one of our games this Saturday, and Louisville sold out with 15,000. It's pretty exciting right now.
Everything you touch turns to gold. I have no doubt this will as well. Thank you so much for your time, sir. Look forward to seeing you on Friday.
Thanks, Bo. Appreciate it. Bye.
All right, there he goes. Mike Rapoli, co-owner of the United Football League, and he didn't stutter or stammer there, co-founder of Glacier Vitamin Water, and then Body Armor, was involved with Pirate Booty, everything he touches, it's all gold. You heard his plan. Will it work? We'll get into that coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
Big voice guy here to remind you that you're listening to The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Okay, thanks. I have 3 more seconds. Bye-bye.
Family owned and operated. It isn't all sunshine and rainbows. This is Dennis Sullivan, president of Care Heating and Cooling. Here's something you don't hear admitted very often. When you run a business with your family, you don't always get along with them. We argue, we debate, we have real conversations about the decisions that we make. But at Care, every conversation comes back to our priorities, doing right by our employees and our customers. Because when you treat your team like family, they take better care of the families they serve. And when you treat your customers the way you want your own family treated, trust follows. That mindset doesn't always maximize short-term profits, but it builds something better, long-term relationships. Today, more and more local companies are being bought by venture capital firms, where maximizing profits often leads to a sales-first mentality. Care is still family-owned and locally operated, so we can keep people, not profits, at the center of every decision. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING when you need a company you can trust.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before, protecting America, fighting for you. Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Dial pound law.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. That's why our agents work with you to design an auto, home, and life insurance plan that's particular to you. Insurance that fits just right. And Shelter is known for our award-winning customer service, satisfied customers, and a plan for you. Isn't it time to check Shelter out? Find an agent near you at shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
The new Chicken and Cheddar Rancher is here at Firehouse Subs.
Protein-packed with grilled chicken breast, crispy bacon, melted cheddar, and creamy buttermilk ranch. A trusted favorite elevated Firehouse Subs style. Grab the new chicken and cheddar rancher today. And remember, Firehouse Subs catering is perfect to feed your team for any game day event. Visit the restaurant or skip the line and order through the Firehouse Subs app. You'll be thankful you did. Only at Firehouse Subs at participating U.S. restaurants.
For over 78 years, our family's been part of your love stories. At Diamond Seller, we offer bigger diamonds, better prices, and timeless designs for every chapter of your life. From your first yes to your forever I do, trust the jeweler who knows diamonds best. Visit Diamond Seller today.
Join Rothman and Ice every Thursday at 2:30 for Gold Jacket Thursday.
Presented by the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
A new Hall of Famer joins the show every week, but not OJ because he's dead and probably a murderer. The Fan.
Austin Ward here, fired up for warm weather, golf season, longer days, more time outside. Ride the momentum and finally drop the weight you keep saying you will. With Awaken 180, it's fast, easy, and we're all proof that it works. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
As a teacher or coach, do you ever feel overwhelmed supporting kids' mental health?
Teachers need tons of help.
I had never experienced players being so down that they can't even participate.
It's so important that we are constantly educating ourselves.
It's the same as the CPR class to me. We're trying to save a life here.
The Kids Mental Health Foundation has free tools and information developed by experts. Scan the QR code or check out kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org to get started.
Spring cleaning isn't just for your house, it's for your life. If your job is getting old, it's time to clear the clutter and spring into IT. Go to My Computer Career.
My Computer Career helped me get the skills and certifications I needed to start a new life as an IT professional in months, not years.
Earn the certifications the top employers are looking for right now. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation to see if it's time to spring into IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
The Fan Poll is sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub, home of award-winning pizza and 32-ounce Yingling drafts for only $4. Keep your friends close and your producers closer. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
That was cool. Really cool to have Mike Rapoli on, co-owner of the United Football League. Columbus Aviators opening play against the DC Defenders on Friday night. I meant what he said. Really, what I said. Really, everything that he touches turns to gold in a big, big way. And the people who are involved in this, if you have skepticism about it, and again, it's deserved and rightful to have spring football skepticism. As he even said it himself, like a bunch of people have tried this. Lots of people have tried this and failed. His involvement, you think about the Rock's involvement, you think about Redbird Capital and what they do and the stuff that they've been able to do. Some really smart people are involved in this. And so if it's going to succeed, this is probably the group to be able to do so. What did you guys make of what Mike had to say?
So is he the first billionaire we've had on the program? I was thinking about that. He might be the first
is
billionaire.
Jack?
No. I don't think he's a true billionaire. But I was wondering that.
That's a good question.
Because I think to spring football and really a lot of these exploratory, experimental leagues, if at the end of this season they do what I've kind of termed an enthusiasm audit, because as much as these guys have been successful business-wise, they've been successful because they're not interested in losing money. And they understand when something's losing you money, you get out from it. And at the end of the season, at the end of this UFL season, the first for the Aviators and several other teams, do they look at ticket sales? Are those up? The gate, is that up? Social impressions, is that up? Viewership, is that up? Less so like the revenue of it, because if all of those metrics are up, then you can kind of continue with that interest. Because as we've talked about with other leagues that get billionaire backing, that gets a ton of interest early, if that interest starts to wane from fans, from the general public, and especially from these billionaires and some of the companies and people that you had mentioned, then it goes away almost quicker than it showed up.
So doing a quick Google search here, while his name and brand have generated over $1 billion in revenue, as of early 26, Jack Nicklaus's estimated worth was about $400 million. So
okay.
Not quite a billionaire.
Yeah, I was trying to think if there was, when you asked that question, I've been trying to think if there was a possibility for anybody else. I don't think so. That was probably it. The first billionaire.
Dom might have some money like squirreled away overseas.
Well, it's taken a hit here recently.
Yeah,
I know
but he won't let you know.
He's been watching that closely and not happy about it.
He won't let you know at all. He doesn't talk about it at all.
If anybody had like Swiss bank accounts or money in the Caymans.
Oh, Dom for sure.
Dom's got it in a coffee can.
He's the match. He's the mattress.
You heard him yesterday. He was a garbage man. Like, he's not in the Caymans.
So is Tony Soprano.
See? That's what I mean.
That's what I'm saying.
It's very interesting here because so many people have tried this. Mm-hmm. And you need someone that's okay with probably taking some losses for a few years to really let this thing hold foot. I do think a partnership with the NFL at some point down the road would be key and vital for the success of this. The one thing I wonder about this town, and we are football crazy in this town with Ohio State. You've got the Browns, the Bengals, the Steelers that people are fans of. I think it works, but is there a football fatigue where people are like, this is my time away from football?
Sure.
I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting. I plan on attending the opener on Friday night to see how this is, to see how the fans are. It's only a 10-game season, so it's a sprint. You've got 5 home games. Hopefully that will get people out there to Crew Stadium and historic Crew Stadium and let them watch this thing. I'm very interested to see how it is. And we were talking off air, Bo. Maybe this is something for Mr. Repole where if he does have a few years where he takes a hit on the balance sheet, maybe that's okay for him. Maybe that helps the other businesses out.
Yeah.
So this is something that maybe he could fund for a while until it really gets going.
Think of the last 30 years, the league startups that have worked. Major League Soccer, slow burn. Now look at it. I mean, just look at it now. I mean, for even what it was 20 years ago to what it is. I mean, for the longest time, it was like a historic Crew Stadium, the only soccer-specific stadium and the first soccer-specific stadium in the country. Now they've all got palaces. Hell, we got a palace here. I mean, just think what's happened. It took time. It took a lot of really smart, wealthy people who were willing to ride it out, like the Hunt family, among others. Think about the WNBA. How long it took to the point where now all of a sudden you can get kind of rich playing in the WNBA off the salary. You can have a very comfortable life. Up until 5 years ago, they would have to go overseas to make the big money and then come back here to play in the WNBA, but the big money was overseas. So it takes time. So you need really smart people with patience. To your point about is there a football fatigue bake? I think strategically they picked very smart markets, and I've always thought Columbus is one of these markets. I think it's less to do about football fatigue and as much to do about, is this a fun thing to do on a Friday night?
Along with all the other fun things that you can do in this city when you get into the spring and you get into the summertime. It's like you're competing with that. You're competing with the Clippers. You're competing with the Crew. You're going to be competing with golf tournaments. So many things that you can compete with.
Blue Jackets.
The CBJ, because they're making the playoffs. Yeah. I do think that if it's football, it'll draw.
You have to. I mean, the old AFL team would draw. The Destroyers? Yeah, they would draw. So, yeah, people, if you build it, they'll come. You just need to be sustained. You need to be committed, and you need to really have boots on the ground drumming this up. So, yeah, I'm optimistic, and I think it could be pretty cool. And I think when I asked him the question, because you guys have heard me talk about that a bunch, an NFL partnership is the long-term aces of this. I mean, ideally, you have 32 UFL teams, and it serves as a true minor league development for an NFL team in the vicinity. I think in the short term, what they could do is you could have, for example, like both the Bengals and Browns send their 20 players each to the Defenders to develop. You have NFL guys develop them. You run vanilla offense. and everybody gets more ball, because that's what's really needed is more reps. So that's probably the long-term way that this becomes an ultimate success. But in the meantime, optimistic and very appreciative of him. And I think, yeah, you're probably right. The more I racked up my brain about it, he's probably the only billionaire we've had on the program. Sad. We got to do better. It's on you guys. We got to find some more billionaires.
More billionaires.
Get more of them. We'll do a little higher or lower. Jake Trotter going to join us from State College, among other things, in the second hour of the program. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
1, 2, 3. Here at The Fan is always football o'clock. Proud to be your home of the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. The Fan.
Planet Fitness has everything you need to power your progress, so you can give everything you've got, all for just 1 cent down. Whether you want to get the most out of our best-in-class equipment or go all in with free fitness training, our trainers are ready to help you get stronger than ever before. Take your workout to the next level at Planet Fitness. Join the club today for 1 cent down, $15 a month. No commitment. Deal ends Friday, April 10th. You ready? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See Club for details.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn, skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons, located in Mount Sterling and Marysville, or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
Mortgage rates have dropped, and the best news is they're expected to go down even more. Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. If you've been thinking about buying a new home, now is the time. And with Third Federal's Buy Now, Refi Later program, you don't have to wait for rates to drop again. You get the guaranteed lowest rate now, and if rates drop later, even after you close, you can refinance to a lower rate for free. That's right, for free. And now with Third Federal's early rate lock, you can lock in the guaranteed lowest rate even before you find a house. So you'll always have the best rate. So don't wait. Call Third Federal today and lock in the guaranteed lowest rate.
Right now at Third Federal, lock in 5.99% APR 6.02% on a 30-year fixed rate purchase mortgage and refinance later if rates go down for free. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3RD-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. See conditions for buy now, refi later. Lowest rate guarantee and early rate lock at thirdfederal.com. Equal housing lender.
There is nothing more meaningful you can do for yourself, your family, and friends than finally getting rid of that pain so they can enjoy that time with you again, especially heading into vacation season. Here, let me help you. It's Bobby Carpenter, and Dr. Tesler and his team at QC Kinetics take care of your pain in the office so you can go right along with your day. It's that easy. So if you say yes to any of these questions, you're the kind of patient QC Kinetics regenerative treatments can help every day. I have consistent pain in my joint, knees, hips, shoulder, back. Pain keeps me from getting a good night's sleep. I'm missing work or saying no to things that I love. I don't want surgery or a long-term recovery. I am at the end of my rope, and taking medications every day is just going to get me through the day. I don't want to do it anymore. So if you want to do that, go check out your free consultation over with my friends at QC Kinetics in Dublin or Gahanna. Call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. They have offices in Dublin and in Gahanna.
The new Omaha Steak Store is now open at 1033 Polaris Parkway at Polaris Commons. Stop in today and save 50% store-wide on legendary steaks, burgers, and more. Plus, get doorbuster deals starting at just $19.99. Discover the Omaha Steaks difference today at the new store at Polaris Commons in Columbus.
Columbus has a new football team, the Aviators. UFL football lands April 3rd. Be there for our home opener at historic Crew Stadium. Don't miss it. Get your tickets now at UFLaviators.com. That's UFLaviators.com. United, we fly.
He opens his toolbox before he opens his wallet and believes you can fix anything with 20 minutes and some pride. He's Mr. DIY. Then when he needs metal, he goes to metal supermarkets. Artists, hobbyists, machine shops, maintenance professionals, and welders all count on metal supermarkets for over 8,000 metal products, shapes, and grades. If it's metal, they've got it or can get it for you. Cuts any size and ready fast. Visit the family-owned franchise on North Wilson Road or Columbus at metalsupermarkets.com.
Some journeys start small, with small pause and big purpose.
Look how little fly, you sweet girl.
Every great partnership begins with the first step.
Bella, let's go.
Guiding them through the world so one day they can guide someone through life. With shared experience, confidence grows, and the path becomes clear. It takes time, patience, and love. But the reward lasts a lifetime. You don't just raise a puppy. You raise a future. Become a Dogs Inc. puppy raiser. Give a dog a purpose. Give someone hope.
Learn more at dogsinc.org.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. Despite a 4-game slide, the Blue Jackets are still in a playoff spot with 7 games to play in the regular season. Jackets took it on the chin last night at Nationwide in a 5-2 loss to the Hurricanes. At 88 points, CBJ are 2 points ahead of the Senators, Red Wings, and Flyers. They all lost last night in regulation. Jackets will skate in Carolina on Thursday. In baseball last night, the Pirates beat the Reds 8-3. Cincinnati's going to host the rubber match today at 12:40. Hear that one over on The Fan 2, 1460 on the AM dial. In LA, the Dodgers beat the Guardians 4-1. The rubber match in that series is at 8:40. Over at Huntington Park, the Clippers won their home opener, dropping the Indianapolis Indians 3-1. Both teams back at it tonight at 6:15. And in the NBA, the Lakers beat the Cavs 127-113. Cleveland's road trip continues tomorrow night at Golden State. This update is sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, give Mark Levy a call at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com.
They've all been paid by the Cleveland Browns. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, second hour here on a First Friday edition of the program. Still time to get your Hey Guys questions into the fellas. You can do so on the X platform at 971BFS. You can also do so in the YouTube chat. We will get to that in about an hour from now. Jake Trotter coming up in 28 minutes from now. Time now, though, for a little higher or lower. Hit it, Reese.
Bishop and Friends present Higher or Lower.
Oh, baby.
So last week, we talked about baseball's opening day and what several teams, including the Royals, the Mets, and the Giants are doing is, I don't know, Bo, if you've seen that viral 999 challenge.
I've not.
Where you have to eat 9 hot dogs and drink 9 beers in a 9-inning baseball game.
Oh, my God.
And so those with
do that?
Stronger stomachs and of younger age probably can do it. Like, you've met tanks in your life that you don't know how their stomachs are that iron. You don't know how they're able to consume that many beers without feeling anything or showing that they have consumed.
So, Bo, which part could you not do?
The hot dogs. I can do the beer in my sleep, but the hot dogs would wreak
9
havoc.
cold beers in 9 innings would be an endeavor. I'd be useless the next day, but I could do more so than the 9 hot dogs.
I think, yeah, you're talking about, I mean, what's the alcohol content of so the beer for me would not be the alcohol content at all. I don't know that would be the problem. The problem would be just being full.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, that's my problem. I mean, you'd be going to the bathroom every 10 seconds would be the issue.
It'd be a lot of treks.
Yeah, and then you throw the hot dogs into it, and then it's a different bathroom search at that point. So that's where the gastro would be a problem. But I do think the beer would be relatively easy as long as it's like a normal can of beer. I mean, an inning of the one thing that would suck, though, is like if you got a 3 up, 3 down, back to back, then it would be,
Hope for a bad pitching matchup.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a tough one. We used to do a thing called the Century Club. I'm not proud of this. My kids are in school or aren't aware of what I do, so they won't necessarily ever hear this. But we used to do a Century Club in college where it was a shot of beer every minute for 100 minutes. And it starts out, and you're like, well, this is nothing. By the time you get to, like, minute 47, you're like, wow, those minutes are flying by. Really? Again? Yep. No one ever got there. Not even close.
So, Bo, I am not someone nowadays, I believe, that could keep up with the beer. I just can't drink beer like I used to. Younger me, no problem, on the 9 beers in the innings. We did talk about last week, though, when we talked about this challenge, there was a time, I believe I might have even been in high school still, but it was old Cooper Stadium. Mm-hmm. And it was a dime a dog night, which crazy that they've been doing that for 47 years now.
So great. Yeah.
Dom was over there slinging hot dogs last night at Huntington Park. But
of course he was.
I was like, I'm going to see how many I can eat tonight.
Okay.
And I went 3 an inning for 5 innings. So I did 15 hot dogs, and I'm pretty sure I turned green.
Yeah, dude. You become Kobayashi at that point.
So Scott runs a website called stadiumdude.com. And in the 2025 baseball season, he toured every ballpark, every major league ballpark in the country. And he ranked the top 50 stadium foods.
Oh, I like it.
That's a lot of eating.
It's a lot.
I'll post this at 971 BFS. So you can get the link. But stadiumdude.com, the best food in baseball. He starts with MOTO Kissed Pizza at T-Mobile Park. So the home of the Mariners has Detroit-style pizza that has pepperoni, spicy sausage, MOTO's cheese blend, hot honey, Parmesan, and oregano.
That sounds like a delight.
At number 2, he's got...
That's number 1?
That's number 1. Is a personal Detroit-style pizza.
That must be a hell of a pizza.
He says as much.
Yeah, that's... Because I've had one. I'm curious what's the best food you've ever had at a ballpark is, at a Major League Baseball park. I have one. I'm curious if it's on this list. Go ahead, Reese.
So at 2, Joe's Z-Man Sandwich at Kauffman Stadium, the home of the Royals. It's barbecue.
Okay.
It's brisket, barbecue sauce. I've got onion rings on this sandwich. At 3, Lobel's Steak Sandwich at Yankee Stadium. Higher or lower there? So that's the best ballpark food you've ever eaten.
So, buddy of mine's bachelor party was out in the Hamptons, and before we went out there on the weekend, we went to Yankee Stadium for a Friday night game at Yankee Stadium. And his dad, as a gift to all of us who were on the bachelor party, we had great seats, and we went down or up a level, I can't remember, to Lobel's, which is a incredibly famous, prestigious butcher in Manhattan, in the New York area. And they had Lobel's steak sandwich. And so he bought Lobel's steak sandwich for all of us at Yankee Stadium. And so before you even started this, I had written down Lobel's steak sandwich is the best stadium food I've ever had in my life. And it was. It's a filet with horseradish on a bun with au jus. I mean, it's stunning. It's a stunning accomplishment. So higher. There's no pizza on the planet that I think would top it. I just can't imagine. And I love pizza. It's perfect.
So some of these on this list, like the pizza thing, I can get there with.
Yeah.
But a barbecue brisket sandwich and this Lobel sandwich with au jus and everything, like, that's not ballpark food to me.
No.
It's too messy. It's too sloppy.
It really wasn't. Like, I don't know how they did it, but they didn't drown it in au jus. So, like, it was the perfect amount. You just ate it with your hand. It's, like, not much different than a hot dog.
Because, like, I'm not even a nachos guy at a ball game because foul ball comes your way. Oh, my gosh, then nachos are all over you. Like, just give me... I want the simple foods at the ballpark.
So lower for you on this. At number 4, Deckman's Baja Fish Tacos at Petco Park, the home of the Padres. At 5, Permane Brothers Cheesesteak at PNC Park, obviously the home of the Pirates.
Couldn't go lower than that. Put that at 170th. I don't understand. I don't get the Permane thing at all. I don't. It's a weird meat. I don't even know what it is. It might have something to do with the fact that I regurgitated it along the side of the freeway one time on my way back from Pittsburgh.
Yes.
I don't understand putting the coleslaw and the stupid fries on there, and it's not for me. Didn't take. So much lower for that.
At 6, Pat LaFrida Filet Mignon Sandwich. That's at Citi Field, the home of the Mets. So
they're copying.
It's a copycat.
Yeah.
At 7, Uncle Charlie's Steaks at Citizens Bank Park, home of the Phillies.
Okay.
At 8, Hot Doug's Rick Rochelle Sausage. Sorry, Fish, if I botched that. At Wrigley Field, the home of the Cubs. At 9, Skyline Cheese Coney. Great American, home of the Reds. Higher or lower for the Skyline Cheese Coney at 9 of the top 50 ballpark foods in the United States.
Where are you? I mean, to me, it seems way too high. I've eaten Skyline once. Didn't take. Where are you guys on chili dogs?
Great. Not at a ballpark.
Okay.
I don't need a ton of sauce with anything at a ballpark, right? Especially on a hot day. I'm not trying to use wet wipes at a baseball game.
That's my thing with this. I don't want to end up wearing it. I don't want it all over me.
You can't do the one you had on there had the tacos. I mean that's not going to work. That's and by the way, like with tacos, once I pick up, like if like all the street taco craze right now, where you get the 6 little tacos and all that you get at restaurants, you get me a bunch of street tacos. Once I pick it up, I don't put it down because I feel like there's a stopwatch on how quickly you have to eat it before it kind of falls apart. So to me, that does not feel like ballpark food at all. I think ballpark food, the minimum, I'm with you on nachos baked too. I don't do that for the same reason because I can't have the stuff everywhere. So, and I'm a pretty good when it comes to like navigating from plate to mouth. It's got to be a sandwich. That's why the Lobels works, because it's a sandwich.
So again, this is stadiumdude.com, and I'll link the thing at 971BFS. But a lot of hot dogs on this list, a lot of pizza, and 2 of them in the top 20 are Seattle Mariners-based pizzas, which is
Seattle is a pizza town.
I would never put that together. So we'll the final one in the top 10, Crazy Crab's Sandwich at Oracle Park, the home of the Giants.
I think a lot of the kids I saw on spring break had that.
The thing you should see a doctor about, or the sandwich?
The first part. Crazy Crab's what?
Crazy Crab Sandwich. Lump crab meat, fresh tomatoes, butter, lemon on garlic, butter toasted sourdough bread. It's $27.
Ooh. It feels like it would be. If it's real crab, it probably should be. If you go to your Costco now, 10 pounds of crab used to be $170. Now it's $760. Where's this at?
So this is at
Boston?
San Francisco.
San Francisco, yeah, Oracle Park.
The 2 places it had to be were either San Francisco or Boston. Like I'm not sucking down crab in Minnesota. I'm not a lobster roll, crab roll guy. Like if I ordered that, I would throw the bread away and just eat the crab.
I will say this, number 15 on the list up in Toronto.
What do you got?
The Hot Honey Maple Bacon Dog. Now that sounds like some ballpark food.
So you got it. What's on it? Dog?
Rosewood honey, marinated maple bacon, some garlic aioli, and a 100% Canadian beef hot dog.
That might work. Where are the Gardos on this?
You have to go to 24 on this list before you can find it. The Momocho Nachos, made-to-order tortilla chips topped with creamy queso fundido, slow-cooked meats, and unique salsas.
Too much.
I don't know what the slow-cooked meats are or the unique salsas. Maybe you can just get it whichever meat or salsa you'd like on these nachos. But I agree with Baker's point on that one. Like, that's just too much for a baseball game.
It says this dish at one time was rated the best concession in baseball by USA Today.
I'll be damned.
Fake news.
Michael Simon he partners with some of them up there. Like, he has a fried bologna sandwich at Cavs games that, to me, feels more like ballparky.
More ballparky and also more Cleveland?
Yeah. So, God, that was great. I'm so happy LaBelle's was on there. What was your guys' best? What's your best, before we get out of here, what's the best food you ever had at a baseball game, professional, minor?
So I don't go for anything other than a pretzel and a brat, maybe. Like, even at Clippers games, if it's the middle of the day or a matinee, they have Uncrustables at the concession stand next to the cargo store. And I get 2 of those and a beer, and it's pretty great.
So I will say this, back in 2010, 11, 12, when I was working over at Huntington Park, at that time, and I don't think they do anymore, one of the concessions there had a chicken quesadilla that was delicious. It was so good.
For the most part, I don't eat food. If I go to a baseball game, which I don't as much as I used to, I'm a peanuts and beer guy, is kind of what I do. And it's a mess, but that's just that makes me happy when I go to a baseball game. Adapt or die, kids. Ryan Day said it. We're doing it. We'll get to it coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic.
Oh, yes.
Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Spring is hatching at the Columbus Zoo. Join us April 3rd and 4th for Eggs, Paws, and Claws. Snap a pic with the Easter Bunny, meet Egbert, roll into Shelley's Celebration, and crack the clues in the Explorer and Find. It's 2 extra fun days you won't want to miss. Get your discounted tickets at Kroger.
You're not done.
What do you mean?
Until you mulch, you're not done.
Very good point. Your landscape isn't finished until you mulch, and Oakland Nursery has mulch on sale. 2 cubic foot bags of Forever Black hardwood mulch, regularly $4.79 a bag, now just $4 for $10 through April 12th. Quality hardwood Forever Black mulch, usually $4.79 for a 2 cubic foot bag, now $4 for $10. Limit 52 bags per customer per visit. Sale ends April 12th.
Now you're done.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
It's Timmy Hall here with Gordon Miller, founder of Miller Lending. Now, Gordon, I remember hearing of your no-cost mortgages back in 2008 when I was on the air in Raleigh-Durham. So what brings you to Central Ohio?
Hey, Tim. Small world, isn't it? But we saw Columbus as the perfect market to offer our no-closing cost mortgage product. With a growing population and relocations, it was similar to our original decision to expand into Raleigh back in '96.
Well, I get to see firsthand how well it worked in Carolina. So how about explaining to our listeners how it truly has no closing cost associated?
That's right, Tim. Way back in 1987, I found a way to do mortgages without using the standard method of buying the rate down with thousands of dollars in various costs. Rates were volatile, much like they are today. And folks were stuck at higher rates because it simply cost too much to refinance. There had to be a better way, and we think we found it.
That was Gordon Miller, founder of Miller Lending, the home of the no-cost loan. Give him a call, 877-9-NO-COST, or online at nocostmortgage.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender. NMLS number 2502146.
Remember the old days when football used to have an off-season? Well, we at the Fan think that really sucked. That's why we bring you Austin and Berm, America's #1 resource for Buckeye football conversation, is voted by Fake Surveys Incorporated. Catch their daily podcast called The Beat and their breaking news podcast, Snap Judgments, as they broadcast live from Roosters on Mondays, and they come right to your house and massage your tender areas. They'll do it all. Austin and Berm on the Fan's YouTube channel and 10 TV Plus. Like a rite of spring, Tee to Green begins Masters Week, hosted by Skip Mossick, Lifetime Achievement Award winner by the Southern Ohio PGA. It adds a touch of class to the radio station.
Hey, everybody, we're all going to get laid.
Saturday mornings at 9 on the Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone here for Window Nation. Spring is a great time to open your windows and wait. Your windows won't open? They leak, they're cracked, or maybe they need repainting? Again, getting top quality custom fit windows from Window Nation is both easy and affordable. During the More You Buy, the More You Save sale, you could save up to 50% off. Plus, you could get them with 0 interest for 5 years. During uncertain times, one of the best investments you can make is in your home. So visit windownation.com to book your consultation now.
I'm Roger from Columbus. I've lived in Ohio all my life. Owning your home is a cornerstone of the American dream. But for seniors, property taxes keep going up and are costing us everything we've worked for. They're even making it impossible for my grandkids to afford their first homes. Vivek Ramaswamy believes when you own your home, you're in charge. As governor, he'll roll back property taxes to levels from before the end of the pandemic. It's a practical plan that will put thousands of dollars back in your pocket next year while maintaining strong education and dependable police and fire. Ohio's politicians have ignored this crisis for too long. But Vivek Ramaswamy isn't a politician. He's an entrepreneur, and he's ready to fight for you. Ohio needs a leader who makes your life more affordable. That's Vivek Ramaswamy.
Lower costs, bigger paychecks, better schools. Vivek Ramaswamy for governor.
Paid for by Vivek Ramaswamy and Rob McCauley for Ohio.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Scattered showers and storms on and off throughout the day today. Otherwise, mostly cloudy and mild with highs in the 60s. And then for tonight, we'll have those chances linger with lows down into the 50s. For Thursday, chances of showers and thunderstorms are back in the forecast with the best chances later in the day. Otherwise, partly sunny and breezy and warm with highs in the low 80s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Fan, Ohio sports destination. Sports conversation that's worthy of a toast, or at least a stiff drink. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Indeed you are, and we're proudly brought to you and sponsored by our great friends at Diamond Settler, your true jeweler for almost 80 years. Tell them both sent you. They'll take care of you on that. We were, you put up the link of the food, the 50 stadium food link, and the picture that's up there is the pizza from Seattle. It looks like a damn good pizza. And it reminded me of, sometimes it's just the time and the place for the food. And when we went to took the boys to the Buckeye game this year that we took them to, I'm going to tell you what, that Donatos hit in every way it needed to hit. So sometimes it's just the place and the time and kind of the fit on all of those things. We had earlier in the show, and you can get this wherever you get your podcast. I know we put it up on social as well. Mike Rapoli on the program. He's the co-owner of the UFL and probably the singular benefactor of St. John's basketball. He's a billionaire, serial entrepreneur. Everything that he's touched has turned to gold. You know the brands: Glacier Vitamin Water, Smart Water, Pirate Booty he was involved with, Launch Body Armor. Those are brands that obviously many of you know and are probably in your pantries, a lot of those brands. And so everything that he has touched has turned to gold. And the NIL component, I asked him about it, about how fun it was, and he remembered being like a 15-year-old kid watching St. John's basketball, and now he can do something directly to make St. John's basketball the way that it was in the 80s, where they were 1 seeds and competing for national championships and playing in Final Fours and those type of things. He hired Patino, he put his money where his mouth is, and now they're there. And it's kind of that simple these days. It really is. When you hear Lane Kiffin say, I need patience to build this, no, you don't. You don't have patience. You don't need it either. All you got to do is look what Cignetti did at Indiana. If you're a good coach and you can properly identify talent, you can motivate them, you can go buy the talent that you want, and LSU certainly ought to be able to do that, then you can flip something and be very competitive at the top of the sport in a big, big hurry. We have watched, and this kind of ties into a conversation we had on Monday in regard to the Blue Bloods in college basketball, the idea that UCLA, North Carolina, Kansas, and Kentucky all missed the Sweet 16 for the first time since 1954, that none of them, including Duke, are in the Final Four, tells you that some of the Blue Bloods in that sport have not adapted as well as others to the changing landscape. They're trying. I think you could point to college football and look at Alabama and Georgia and say, maybe not quite adapting as well. Now, some of that could be finite. There might not be finances behind them the way that there was in the old days where you could kind of do it under the table. Now that everything's above board, those two operations don't have the money that some of these other places do. Ohio State football, under the leadership of Ryan Day, Mark Pantoni, Mickey Marotti, the incredible staff, the incredible donors that we have here, the big money boosters who are willing to put money where their mouth is, Ohio State football has navigated it pretty close to perfectly. They're adapting on the fly. We saw it, I think, and I've said this many times, this last recruiting class that had 29 signees, I don't think you'll ever see that again. I think it'll be 15 to 18. And I think it'll be 5 to 7 blue chips and 7 to 10 Ohio kids who bleed scarlet and gray, and you don't have to worry about them holding you over a barrel for every last dollar. But that's my guess is what this recruiting strategy will be going forward. Furthermore, I think they're going to be more active in the portal. 51 new players for Ohio State this spring. 51. Wasn't that long ago, Reese, you and I doing this show and going, Colorado's got 54 new players? How the hell is that going to work?
Yeah, it seems it's ridiculous now even to think about, but it seemed that much more back then. But this is where the sport's going.
Yeah, and so the idea that there are 51 new faces, this is something we're all just going to have to get used to. This is Ohio State's first real foray into this version. Ohio State's always been very kind of selective in their portal, and I think they were here too, but you can't be selective with 51 new faces. Ryan Day had a pretty good analogy for all of this at his availability yesterday. Let's have a listen.
To somebody that day, and I had went on a couple visits with my son, and so I had a little free time, traveling, and so I watched that Netflix documentary on the dinosaurs. And if you want to feel insignificant, watch that, because it talks about how the dinosaurs were on Earth like 250 million years ago, and throughout time, it got all the way to like 65 million years ago. Over that time, the world changed, the climate changed, the Earth changed, and some dinosaurs figured out how to continue to adapt, and some died. And I guess that's a little extreme, but I think it's kind of the way it is in college football. The people who know how to adapt are going to continue to move on, and the ones who don't, they die. And so as frustrating as it all is, as much as we all want to just pull our hair out and throw our hands up and realize that this is all extremely crazy, and even being with some of the NFL personnel last Wednesday when they look at you and say, you are insane to be in college football. They're right, but either you adapt or you die.
They've adapted about as well as you can. I think Ohio State football, probably the closest if you're looking for a March Madness comparison, it's probably Duke, except they've won national titles. You know, Duke hasn't for a minute with all of the talent that they've had, but they have been quick to adapt. And to this point, up until next season, we haven't had these wholesale changes the way that we will have this year from a roster turnover standpoint. The biggest challenge on this, and I heard Tyvus talking about this with Brother Bone this morning, he talked about the brotherhood, and that's something that means a lot to him. That's something that means a lot in the salesmanship of this program. I don't know if you're going to be able to do that the way that you used to. God knows they're going to try. They're going to try. You have guys like Threes in there talking about it, preaching the history, all of it. It'll land on a lot of the kids. Some kids it won't. For the right ones, it'll hit. But this is now, and this is something that Ohio State has avoided most of the last decade. Ohio State really hasn't had they haven't had a whole lot off the field from the players from the last decade. Really haven't. It's been really quiet because they've been very selective in the players that they're taking, and they don't take risks. I think we're going to have to understand that some of that is going to change because these are all shotgun marriages now. You're not going to have 2 years in a recruiting process. I just saw there's a clip of Ryan Day on with Kevin Clark, and we'll have some audio for it maybe tomorrow from it. But he talked about seeing Sonny Styles for the first time as an 8th grader. That's done. You're not going to see that anymore. You're not going to have those relationships built over 4 or 5 years where you know the family, you know the kids. In the portal, you're meeting somebody, and you got basically a week to sell them on your program.
Bo, it's interesting you say that, but yet I still see Ohio State with 28 and 29 kids coming in.
That's
and
for
doing
last
a recruiting
year, though.
visit.
Yeah, but they're going to be. I'm telling you, they signed 29. Next year it'll be 18.
No, excuse me. I mean, class of 28 and 29 guys doing recruiting visits. They're visiting them. They're recruiting them. And
Yeah. And they'll big game hunt at the top of that with 7 to 10 kids who are 5 stars. If they can get those 5 stars, they'll get them. But you're going to see this type of turnover. I don't know if it'll be 51, but you're going to see 30 and 40 new faces every year.
Yeah, they'll still do their due diligence on future classes, and they'll still be in on them, but there will be an increase, and there has already been an increase in guys that come in with 3-4 stars next to their name and say, I want this amount. And I would imagine right away they go, okay, well, it was nice to meet you. Because Ryan Day said it about as many times as he's been in front of a microphone. Ohio State's not for anybody. And with those 51 that they've brought in, there are so many guys that have played a ton of college football and have been part of college football programs that are trying to be Ohio State, that are similar to Ohio State, and programs that are far off from Ohio State. And I think all of those experiences, when you get onto campus in Columbus and you see how things are run here, I think it does allow for a lot of those players. I mean, you heard it from James Smith last week of how there is kind of an understanding, and that's easier to have a buy-in from guys that have come from programs where, like Alabama, he saw with Saban and he saw with DeBoer, and how those are two very different. You know, you get guys from Florida State, guys from Duke, who there's success there because there's that buy-in. And I think the older guys you bring in from the portal, part of that, you know, probably half of that 51, understand just what it takes to be involved with a national championship chase. And that buy-in's simple, and you can trickle that down to the newer guys who haven't seen as much college football.
Yeah, the culture here is in spades. It's everywhere. So now you just have to get there and adapt to it immediately. I'm very curious. Jake's over at State College. I'm very curious what he notices the difference between this regime and the previous regime. We'll get to him in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. Mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Why should you hire America's largest injury law firm for your case? There's lots of reasons. Just like there's a reason millions of people called us last year in their time of need. When it comes to fighting for justice and compensation, millions of people across the country trust us to go to battle for them. We became the largest injury law firm in the world for a reason. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Injured? Dial pound law.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
For 25 years, the Library of Congress Veterans History Project has collected and preserved the experiences of America's heroes. From original letters to oral histories, these first-hand accounts bring history to life, one voice at a time. With over 120,000 stories collected, each reveals the courage, sacrifice, and service of our veterans. But many remain untold. Help our nation reach 125,000. Share a story. Ensure a legacy. Visit loc.gov/vets today.
Everyone needs to take care of their mental health, even running back Bijan Robinson.
When I'm on the field and feeling the pressure, I usually just take a deep breath. When I'm just breathing and seeing what's in front of me, everything just slows down. It just makes me feel great before I run the play.
Just like Bijan, we all need a strong mental game on and off the field. Make a game plan for your mental health at loveyourmindplaybook.org.
Love your mind.
Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Foundation, the Arthur M. Blank Family Foundation, and the Ad Council.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for almost 80 years. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Let me introduce you to a man with a magnificent salt and pepper beard. A man who's currently roasting lamb on a spit. A man who runs the Rocky River Greek Festival. That man is Jake Trotter.
We're going to tackle the most important issues here. I understand you're over in State College. I understand you had Buckeye Donuts last time around. So Buckeye Donuts or Penn State Creamery? Who's your winner?
I haven't had the Udos yet at Buckeye Donuts, so it's an incomplete evaluation. I mean, listen, these are two iconic places. I'm not going to sit here and rank them. I will say this. I try to go to both whenever I'm in town. And you better believe I'm going to be contemplated bringing back a tub of mint chocolate chip from State College. I might get Tyvus some too. If he
Has he
wants
not
to
had it?
send me his order. He hates everything Penn State, so I assume he doesn't like the ice cream either. But
it's pretty damn good ice cream. So as you know, they serve it in the press box, which is a winner. That they get that in there. They're redoing the press box over there, aren't they?
Well, Penn State serves. When did this happen? That's never happened at a game I've been at.
I don't know. Maybe they've changed. I mean, when I went, they did it. Penn State had the best media spread. Now, their press box was the worst in the Big Ten, but they had the best media spread in the Big Ten because they would have, like, the Pennsylvania farmers would provide the meal. So it was like all home cooked, food.
When's the last time you were in the Penn State press box?
2014.
Things have changed.
Oh, no.
Things have changed.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
State, honestly, Ohio State. Sir, at least in the Big Ten, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I think Ohio State has the best press box spread of anyone in the Big Ten.
Let's go.
I think
Way to represent, boys.
Correct. You know, they have the what do you call them? Like the Frappuccinos.
Sure.
You know, they used to have the Frosty machine up there.
Yep.
Way back in the day, and they at some point I guess they replaced that with the Frappuccinos. So nothing like a 700 calorie, caffeine
little gut bomb
at 9 a.m.
66 grams of sugar. Nothing to see here, Coach.
Yeah.
Nothing to see here.
Yes.
So I'm very curious because here's what I'm interested in. James Franklin was there for a long time. He is no longer there, and I know you're there to cover Pro Day and Drew Aller and all of the stuff that comes with that.
No, I'm just here. I'm just here for Penn State. Aller's Pro Day was last week. Yeah.
Oh, perfect then. Perfect. Okay, perfect. You've seen it then. You've seen it now. Do you feel anything different?
Well, so I just got into town. I'm going to meet with Matt Campbell and Rocco Becht and coordinators. You know, they got Lynn from USC, which was a really interesting hire. One thing that's weird about Penn State, like, I don't know anything about this team. There's, like, nothing coming back that you can kind of fall back on.
Mm-mm.
And so, I remember I've known Matt for a long time, really when he first got the job at Iowa State. And this conversation just stuck with me. We were talking on the phone, and he said, if you can win in Eugene, why can't you win in Ames? And I said, well, I didn't say this, but I was like, you've got Phil Knight. They've got the uniforms. They're kind of a cool program. Iowa State, certainly at the time, was none of those things, had none of those things, and, devoted fan base, but your name's Iowa. You just have a lack of resources inherently. And the level of consistency that he won with there was pretty remarkable. And I think the other thing that was interesting about Matt Campbell, he had a lot of opportunities to leave. for NFL jobs, for pretty good college jobs, and never did. And then you kind of wonder, well, did his time come and go? Like, is this he just going to be at Iowa State forever? And obviously the Penn State opportunity, even though it kind of took the school a little while to hire him, when I felt like he should have been one of their top 2 or 3 choices right away. You know, I think Michigan would have been a possibility if the timing had lined up a little bit better when their opening came open after all the Sharon Moore drama. So I want to ask him, okay, you told me that. He probably doesn't even remember. Like, what do you say about this place? Because it is kind of a night and day difference. For all of Penn State's, you know, problems winning the big game and kind of being in Ohio State shadow and Michigan shadow a little bit. And, you know, they haven't, you know, gotten to that point where they're, you know, playing and winning national titles for a long time. You've got a lot more resources to work with. And I think a administration and a booster base that is ready to invest. So I think it's going to be fascinating to see what happens and what he thinks of everything. And again, like their team, I mean, it's kind of like a combination of guys you've never heard of, guys that played for Iowa State last year, you know, guys like James B. I mean, it's just all over the place. So I don't know what kind of team they're going to have, but that guy's a heck of a coach. That staff has always been really impressive. And I think that they, you know, could be a factor in a way that maybe they weren't at the top level under Franklin.
I couldn't agree with everything you said more. I think they actually stumbled into maybe the perfect fit for them. I think he can flat out coach it. I think one thing, I'm not sure if you're aware, you probably are, but just so the audience, just so that they remember. So when the Big Ten decided we're going to have rivalry games that you get to keep, Ohio State wrote down Penn State and Michigan. Penn State wrote down nobody. They did not want to play Ohio State. They did not want to play Michigan every year. That was from James Franklin. His view was, why am I playing this, guys? All I got to do is get to the playoff. These guys are standing in the way of it. Now, they you know, couched it under unrivaled and all this nonsense. But the reality is he chose not to play Ohio State every year, and Ohio State wanted to. That mentality to me summed up the James Franklin. I think sometimes, and by the way, I think he did a heck of a job there, stabilizing a very unstable situation. I think he took what Bill O'Brien was doing and then stabilized it. I'm curious what Matt Campbell's mentality is on that.
It's a good question. I mean, Iowa State played Iowa every year. You know, they never tried to get out of that game. You see with like USC and Lincoln Riley trying to get out of the Notre Dame game. I'm not saying the Big 12 schedule is comparable to what you face in the Big 10, but I don't think Matt Campbell has ever shied away from, you know, playing. And the one thing about now, it's apples and oranges. Penn State playing big games, Iowa State playing big games. But he really made his hay early on by beating Oklahoma, by beating Texas. I mean, I was at the game in Norman against Baker Mayfield. Oklahoma had an outstanding team. Iowa State was down to their fourth string quarterback. I can't even remember his name. I think he had the initial – I think he had like Kyle something. I mean, that's how long ago it was.
Yeah.
They had a quarterback playing linebacker and Joe Lanning, you know, terrific college player, and they beat Oklahoma in Norman, which that's like Purdue beating Ohio State in Columbus. I mean, it's kind of the equivalent of that almost. Oklahoma had like some crazy winning streak against Iowa State up to that point. So he has gone big game hunting before, and you know, if he can harness that same mentality at Penn State, they're going to be a scary team because he's going to have way better players than he ever had at Iowa State, even though a lot of the players he has now were at Iowa State with him.
I know you got to run, but I will get you out of here on this one. You were at Ohio State Pro Day last week, right?
I was.
You were, because you had the Buckeye Donuts. What jumped out at you from that in terms of the guys who tested and then maybe even potentially the guys who were doing the throwing?
Yeah, I mean, Julian Sain was very sharp to me. This quarterback class next year is going to be insane. We'll see how Julian, you know, factors into all of that. I'm actually working on a story that's going to run this week about Caleb Downs, and you know, he didn't do a lot. He did some drill work, safety drill work at that pro day, but I think he's going to be one of the more interesting prospects in the draft. Do you know how many safeties have gone in the top 10 since 1991? Just take a stab at it.
I'm going to say Sean Taylor, Eric Turner, Eric Berry are the three I know.
Yeah, I mean, it's four depending on how you categorize Mark Barron from Alabama.
Oh, there you go.
We haven't had Jamal Adams. We haven't had a safety in the top 10 since Jamal Adams in 2017. If you go back to 2000, safety is kind of by far the least drafted position in the top 10. So writing about that and how Caleb kind of factors into all of that, it's, he doesn't have the crazy physical traits that like Sean Taylor had, where, you're 6'2" and you're running a 4.4, or LaRon Landry, who ran I think a 4.35 at the combine. Caleb didn't run at the combine, so we don't really know what he would have tested out. But Caleb brings a lot of other attributes to the table: force multiplier, great leader, guy on the field that makes everybody around him better. And is that going to be enough in a questionable overall draft to put him in really rare company when it comes to that position in the NFL? And I have talked to people that could see him go as high as like 4 or 5 and maybe not even be the first safety off the board. I think it's going to be really interesting to see what the NFL does with him, because there's a lot to like. But I think, it's a question of, all right, like, this guy's probably can't miss, but do we roll the dice on somebody with maybe a higher ceiling?
Great point. Good stuff as always, buddy. I think we're all going to follow that. Look forward to reading your report on it. My advice to you, be careful driving back on that Pennsylvania Turnpike, because speed limits to folks in Pennsylvania is at best something they glance at. Be careful.
Well, listen, it's going to be better than trying to drive through a tornado warning, which is what happened on the way here. So
that's true. You did.
I've never seen the cones like flying around in the air like it was the Wizard of Oz, and I'm from Oklahoma, so
right. That's saying something.
I made it.
All right, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
Guys.
All right, we'll do a little thing or not a thing up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
A lot has changed in 30 years, but we're still that old shoe that feels worn in and well-loved. And well, we smell a little, but you've accepted that. The Fan.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need, delivered when and where you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Columbus has a new football team, the Aviators. UFL football lands April 3rd. Be there for our home opener at historic Crew Stadium. Don't miss it. Get your tickets now at UFLaviators.com. That's UFLaviators.com. United, we fly.
Hey folks, Austin Ward here. There was a time if you handed me a bread basket at dinner, it was like feeding a gator. You might lose a finger. Bread, pasta, pizza, man, carbs were undefeated in my life. That is, until Awaken 180 weight loss came in and flipped the script. Look, I've run the gauntlet of diets, and each time, carbs won by knockout. But Awaken 180 isn't a diet. It's a whole new playbook for changed up lifestyle. We all know it's necessary to lose that weight, but this is to keep it off. That constant carb craving, the one we all shrug off as normal, gone. Sure, I still love my pizza. But here's the difference. Now I don't need it. So now, most times when that waiter hustles over with a basket of temptation, I just grin, give a little nod, and wave it away like I'm passing on a 4th and long. Because I'm in control now. Awaken 180 isn't just a game changer, it's a life changer. Trust me. Call them at 844-346-1800 or visit awaken180weightloss.com. Your future self will thank you.
We can come the day you call us.
We're 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
Brian, I've been meaning to ask you something.
Okay, ask away.
Sometimes when we're talking, I hear a little sparkling sound.
Is it when one of us says, all you have to do is point?
There it is. Did you hear that?
That's the sound of magic happening.
Magic? Like we can come the day you call us? Wow.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? Oh, no. Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now.
Thinking about buying your first home? Now, with Third Federal, you can buy your first home and pay no PMI. Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. Private mortgage insurance, or PMI, can cost thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. And you may not realize PMI doesn't protect you. It only protects the lender in case of default. But at Third Federal, you can buy a home with just 5% down and no PMI. Plus, first-time home buyers get $750 off a closing cost. So if you're thinking about buying your first home, go for it and visit thirdfederal.com.
Even before you find a home, lock in 5.99% APR, 6.02% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3rd-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. See conditions for closing cost coupon at thirdfederal.com/FTHB. Equal housing lender.
Hey, it's Anthony. By now you know my good feet story, but the point I try to get across is that it's an ongoing one for me. For as long as I can remember, it's always been about my lower back. But when I got fitted for my personal arch supports, it's been an absolute game changer. I feel better. They take all the stress off my back. I feel supported and aligned, and you don't hear me complain about it the way I used to. I could feel the difference instantly, and I didn't have to wait to feel that difference. Once I got fitted, popped them in my shoes, took the test walk around the store, and now on a daily basis, everything feels better. And that's what I mean about an ongoing story. This journey to feeling my pain disappear makes everything better. You can make an appointment online or just stop into the Good Feet store in Grove City or the one on Polaris Parkway in Westerville, and their experts will personally fit you. Then do what I did. Take a test walk around, and you will feel the difference. Do your feet a favor. Get started at goodfeet.com.
The Fan Poll is sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub, home of award-winning pizza and 32-ounce Yingling drafts for only $4. First Friday miracles are always better with Uncle Bo. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, still time to get your Hey Guys questions into the fellas at 971-BFS on the X, also in the YouTube chat. We will tackle those in about 15 minutes. Time now for a little thing or not a thing. Hit it, fellas.
Thing or not a thing.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
In a statement to social media Tuesday, Tiger Woods said, quote, "I'm stepping away for a period of time to seek treatment and focus on my health." Tiger adds, "I know and understand the seriousness of the situation I find myself in. I am stepping away to seek treatment. This is necessary in order for me to prioritize my well-being and work toward lasting recovery." Woods' statement came hours after he entered a plea of not guilty to charges of misdemeanor DUI with property damage and refusal to submit to a lawful test. Woods also waived his arraignment hearing, which had been scheduled for April 23rd. Thing or not a thing?
I mean, it's obviously a big thing. You know, to me, I think one of the things that'll be interesting on all of this from what we talk about most, which is the sports side of it, is can he play golf without pain? Is that the simplest way to ask it? Can he play golf without pain? And I'm not talking about the Masters. I'm talking about, can he play golf with his kid without pain?
Walk a fairway.
Yes. Can he walk a fairway? Can he, selfishly, of course we want him here at Scioto for the Senior Open. Of course we want that. But, is that something that he can do without pain? Because my hunch is on all of this, 30,000 feet view, the hunch, is that he's trying to medicate the pain. 7 back surgeries? Almost had a leg amputated? I mean, I've had none of that. I've never had a surgery in my life. And I wake up, and I'm a little younger than him, I wake up with aches and pains that I didn't even know existed a decade ago. And he's been through all that. He's trying to play competitive golf. I think that's probably the conversation that he will have to have with himself, is how do I want to live the rest of my life?
It's so interesting, Bo, that you went that way, because I was thinking the exact same thing. He probably has to, I don't know if he has to have them, but he probably is prescribed those painkillers just for normal everyday life.
Yeah.
And I wonder how much worse playing golf and trying to play competitive golf, which that seems to be what he wanted to do. He wanted to play the Masters. He signed up to play, to try to play the U.S. Senior Open here at Scioto in July. I wonder how much trying to play competitive golf is making this problem with him worse. And he obviously has a problem with the pills, whether that be he's addicted to them or he can't not take them and get behind the wheel of a car.
Yeah.
And I wonder if it's something where, as hard as it is for him, he is going to have to give up the life that he has always known, and that is playing competitive golf, because it just exacerbates whatever problem, addiction thing is going on here. This is a major, major thing, and hopefully Tiger Woods can get this under control where he can live a life that he's happy with and is not endangering anyone else.
The Chicago Sun-Times is reporting there's, quote, a growing chance that Billy Donovan will leave the Chicago Bulls if the team keeps their VP of basketball operations. At 29-46 on the season, Chicago's out of the running for even the play-in. The 60-year-old Donovan is in his 6th season as head coach of the Bulls. He took over in 2020. He's 224 and 251 overall during his time in Chicago. He's only gotten the Bulls to the playoffs once. That was a 5-game loss in the first round back in the 21-22 season. The report comes as Donovan is the favorite to become the next head coach at North Carolina. Thing or not a thing?
I knew Billy Donovan in Florida, and I can tell you that he is just charismatic enough to keep a job for 6 years, despite having a 47% win percentage in the sport. He's just charismatic enough for that. And he was also in an interesting spot because he went to Oklahoma City first, right, from Florida. He was an interesting spot, and then in that he scaled the college basketball mountaintop, kind of in a way that we haven't seen. I mean, Florida was decent at basketball before, like Lon Kruger was good, but then Billy made him like a blue blood for a time. And he won the 2 national championships back-to-back. And it was like, well, what are you going to – he would go to South Dakota and get Mike Miller. That used to be something – if you're a 5-star from South Dakota, you went to Kansas. Like, that wasn't a conversation. And he did those things. And it was almost like he scaled the mountain so soon. It's like, well, I guess I'll go to the NBA now. And he's been there for a while. He was rumored heavily here when Thad stepped down. All those talk of, like, Gene's meeting with Billy Donovan at the Memorial, all of that stuff. My hunch is that he'll become the next head coach at North Carolina, and that he'll probably crush that. That's my hunch. Because I do think, like, at some point, I mean, the lifestyle's better, all of it, I get it, but, like, this just hasn't worked in the NBA. And I don't know, I don't follow the league close enough to know if, like, the Bulls are on the precipice of being good or not. My hunch is I haven't heard anything about him since Derrick Rose got hurt.
It sure does seem like everything is lining up here, and the stars are aligning that Billy Donovan ends up at North Carolina. I'm guessing that the Bulls wouldn't be too sad about that either, with the record that they've had, and they haven't really... I think there was a time a few years ago, maybe before he got there, that it seemed like the Bulls just might be the next up-and-coming team. They had a bunch of young guys, and they were ready to knock on that door. And then Billy has come in, and it just hasn't worked out for whatever reason. He went to the NBA. He coached at the highest level. Maybe now it's time for him to go back to college basketball and try to resurrect some of the success that he had at Florida. And, man, I don't know if there's a better place to do it than at North Carolina.
It's probably the best job in the sport, I would think, and certainly on a short list. I was just looking at this. Like, he actually won a ton in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, he's really good.
He was in the Western Conference Finals year one. They went 55-27, then 47-35, 48-34, 49-33, 44-28, and then they fired him. So the losing has really been in Chicago. He was actually really good in Oklahoma City. So that would have coincided with, like, the end of Westbrook.
I was going to say, did he have all three?
He probably had Durant in 15-16.
Durant and Westbrook. I think that was right as they traded Harden, maybe?
Yeah, because Durant is in that would he had 1 year of Durant and Westbrook. That's when they were in the conference finals.
It's funny about Chicago because I'm looking at their attendance in 2026, and they're 4th in the league.
In attendance?
Like Chicago.
Wow. People still love the Bulls. God bless them.
On Tuesday, CBS Sports announced record-setting NCAA tournament viewership continues. The most watched NCAA tournament since 1993, averaging 10.3 million viewers through the Elite Eight across TBS, CBS, TNT, and True TV. That's up 9%. UConn and Duke in the Elite Eight peaked with 18.9 million on CBS The game averaged 13.4 million. That's up 15% from the Elite Eight games last year. Sweet 16 early primetime window on Friday. That was Duke, St. John's, and Michigan, Alabama. Averaged 14.2 million. That's up 38%, the most watched since 92 for that window. Wow. Every game window in the Sweet 16 and Elite Eight has delivered year-over-year viewership increases. Thing or not a thing?
Lots of things. Number one, I believe we had it. We knew this one was going to be a monster. Ton of talent, known stars. Number two, this is where no Cinderella helps. I mean, all of the teams that you mentioned, Duke, St. John's, Michigan, Alabama, these are all massive brands. UConn, massive brands. And then the third thing is the new way of determining how many people are watching is giving you a more real view of how many people actually are. So I think all of those factors lead to this. None of it's a surprise to me.
Bo, when we talked about this last week with the first round numbers being record-setting too, I was shocked that the TV viewership numbers were that low as far as these were record-setting. And I guess maybe we're just skewed by the NFL and the crazy numbers they do. I would have thought the NCAA tournament at some point in its history had better numbers than this.
Well, you got to remember, for a long time, the first two rounds were like when we were kids, they were on ESPN, and then they went to CBS Turner, kind of bounced around. And they also throw so much at you, too. In the old days, the other factor in this, guys, is in the old days, you would compete head-to-head with your own region, with other regions. Now they do a better job of they tip games at 10 o'clock at night. They never used to do that. You used to be able to have 3 games going on in a window, or 4 sometimes. So all those factors.
This just goes to show, though, again, that live sports are undefeated. It's why Fox is putting UFL games on at 8 o'clock on a Friday.
Absolutely. Yeah, because we like live sports that matter. Final hour of the program on a first Friday. Get your Hey Guys coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Just when you thought afternoons couldn't get any dumber.
You fellas been doing a bit of boozing, have you?
Common Man and Tinny.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
Your home for dumb. The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Tired of snoring? Dr. Mark Levy can help with a custom mouthpiece that opens your airway and stops the snoring. No mask, no noise. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com today. Stop snoring. Sleep better. Live better. Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. It's that time of year where you want to open the windows, but maybe you've got that one window that's always stuck. Oh, and the other window that, you can get it open, but it's harder to get it closed, so you just leave it closed all the time. Get new windows from Window Nation. It's easy and affordable during their More You Buy, the More You Save sale. You could be saving up to 50% off your new windows with Window Nation, plus 0 interest for 5 years. It's always a good time to invest in your home, so visit windownation.com now to book your consultation. Once again, that's windownation.com.
At Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good. You know the savings are so good. You know the savings are so good. Great cars, great deals, Great Lakes. GLakesHyundai.com.
Get your day started with T-Bone and Tybus weekday mornings from 6 to 9 here on The Fan. You think that a radio lifer and a national title winner wouldn't have much in common, but you'd be wrong. They're both girthy, they both love football, and they both get racially profiled for completely different reasons. It's like driving to work with your friends, except these friends give away tickets to things and talk to all the important people in town. Your actual friends are probably a bunch of losers. Well, anyway, listen to T-Bone and Tybus live on The Fan app, and wherever you get your podcasts.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. I love my Kubota tractor, RTV, and zero-turn I got from Green & Sons, and you can check them out online at greensons.com or visit them in store in Mount Sterling or north of Marysville and Raymond for all your Kubota needs.
When you saw your heating bills this winter, did you think this is out of control? The problem is your house is leaking money, and the only thing higher than your heating bills are your cooling bills. Steve here from USA Insulation. Let us fix your energy bill problem for good. If you aren't foam insulated, you really aren't insulated. For $99 a month, interest-free, we'll foam your home and help cut those energy bills. 529-2440 or USAinsulation.net.
USA Insulation.
This wasn't how Patrick pictured himself in retirement. Instead of playing golf every day, he could barely walk because of his severe knee pain.
It hampered everything because it hurt to walk around the golf course. It hurt to swing, just pretty much hurt doing anything.
But the groundbreaking regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics changed everything for Patrick. QC Kinetics uses your body's own healing properties to help repair and restore damaged tissue in your knees, hips, back, and shoulders. No surgery, no drugs, no downtime.
The turnaround's been amazing from where I was was to where I am now. I've gone from a 15 handicap down to a 7 handicap. That's because my knees allow me to play golf like I haven't been able to play probably in 15 years.
Don't let joint pain keep you from doing what you love. Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
At Babs R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement. As the Midwest's fastest growing 5-star bathroom remodeler, we're more than just transformations. We're a community driven by a mission to bring your dreams to life. Our installation team, part of the Babs R Us community, isn't just skilled. They're dedicated to respecting your home. Each day, they bring craftsmanship and hustle, turning your dream space, no matter the size, into reality. Together, we embrace a culture that values diversity, collaboration, and giving back. From supporting local projects to fostering a workplace where every voice is valued. Babs R Us is more than a company. It's a community of experts. We're also expanding locations to create more possibilities for homeowners across the Midwest. Wherever you are, you'll find us ready to turn your dreams into something you can see, feel, and enjoy every day. Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BAB to schedule your free estimate or go to babsrus.com. Babs R Us, where dreams soak in.
You wanted to be cool, which led you to smoking, which led to a pack a day. Then you met that special someone, which led to starting a life with them, which led to wanting to live longer, which led to quitting. Then you heard you may be at risk for lung cancer, which led you to getting a low-dose CT scan. If you smoked, get scanned. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Hey, it's T-Bone again. Listen up. Sleep apnea doesn't have to rule your nights. Dr. Mark Levy's been treating snoring and sleep apnea for over 15 years with proven results. And now he has an office in Marysville. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or go to sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios, driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. 7 games remain for the Blue Jackets, who are on a 4-game losing streak. CBJ were smothered by the Hurricanes last night, 5-2 at Nationwide. Good news is the other teams chasing the Blue Jackets for that final wildcard spot all lost in regulation. The Jackets have 88 points, look to halt their 4-game slide on Thursday, skating in Carolina against the Hurricanes. In baseball Wednesday, the Reds host the Pirates at 12:40 in the rubber match of their 3-game set. Pittsburgh won last night 8-3. You can listen to Cincinnati baseball over on the Fan 2. That's 1460 on the AM dial. In Los Angeles at 8:40, the Dodgers and Guardians go in that rubber match. LA won 4-1 Wednesday. Cleveland's home opener is Friday at 4:10 against the Cubs. Over at Huntington Park, the Clippers won their home opener, dropping the Indianapolis Indians 3-1. Both teams back at it tonight at 6:15. This update is sponsored by Eco Plumbers. Get $500 in free repairs when you buy a new water heater. Visit geteco.com and book today.
You say something with enough confidence, it must be true. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, final hour here on a First Friday Miracle edition of the program. Get your officially endorsed coming up at the end of the program. Get into the NFL owners meetings and some of the lessons potentially learned there coming up at the bottom of the hour. Time now for a little Hey Guys. Hit it, fellas.
Nothing is off limits. Your participation is required. Just use the hashtag #HeyGuys and ask anything you want. Do it now.
Sponsored by High Bank Distillery Co. Great food, award-winning drinks, and something for everyone in the family. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
Good news about doing this on a few mediums is we can get your questions live in the YouTube chat or at 971BFS. I'm constantly hitting that refresh button. I'm going to steal this on Twitter from friend of the program, Snagglepuss.
All right.
Because he says, hey, guys, when Ryan Day references watching a Netflix documentary, I'd love to see the viewership numbers of that documentary in a Columbus market after the reference. Which is hilarious to think about, but he's right.
He's right.
A spike in that dinosaur doc? Absolutely.
So, yeah, you know, one of the things that I think probably is the best example of that, of what he's going for there is a podcast that I enjoy a great deal that The Ringer puts together called The Rewatchables. And they rewatch movies and then they talk about old movies and you relive them a little bit. Oftentimes, I will find that I will listen to an episode of it, and I haven't seen the movie in 20 years, and then I find myself going, God, that was pretty great. I wonder where that's streaming. And then I try to track it down. And so you know what they do now? They're now streaming that show live on Netflix, which is pretty damn smart. So I think that kind of ties into the Ryan Day, like, hey, we're watching this. And guys, I've thought about this before with like us as a show. We haven't had anything. Reese, what is the last show that we reviewed? That used to be a regular part of the show.
Yellowstone.
Is it Yellowstone?
Yep.
Okay. So we did, like, AR and I did we do that? No, it wasn't The Sopranos.
Did you guys do The Wire?
No, The Wire was in the books. There was a show that AR and I did that we would talk about. I think we tried doing Boardwalk Empire a little bit. And then Threes and I did Game of Thrones. Like we would do Game of Thrones. And then you and I did Succession.
That's
Didn't
right,
we
we did.
Succession?
We did Succession.
We did Succession, and we did Yellowstone. And I've thought about this, like, would it be fun, like, for us, like, Bake hasn't seen Friday Night Lights, the series. Like, would that be, that's a massive undertaking. You're talking about 7 seasons of television. I don't know if I could sign up for that on a weekly basis with everything else got going on. But, and then I thought about, like, would it be fun to do a series with Dom where we rewatched The Sopranos and talked about it on a podcast. So there's value in this. And the rewatchability of things, or the watchability of the dinosaur doc that Ryan Day did, there is something, and I don't know if you guys do this. Do you ever revisit series that you've seen before?
I just did Boardwalk Empire. Yeah.
How did it hold up?
It's still great. Yeah.
So I loved it when it aired. It didn't get the attention for whatever reason that some of the others did, but I thought it was spectacular.
If you do the rewatchable thing with Dom, you've got to do it on a video, and the title is It's a Video Podcast, T. Ace says in the YouTube chat, do reviews on Euphoria. No.
Oof.
That would
I'll tell you, Ace, I had heard a lot of buzz about that show.
And Friends After Dark, maybe.
I had heard a lot of things about that show. Sydney Sweeney's on that show, so that piqued the interest, certainly. Good Pacific Northwest girl from Spokane. And so I watched an episode of Euphoria. And this was 2 or 3 years ago. And at that time, NBC was 12. And I remember thinking, that's enough of that. I don't need that. Nope. No thanks. I'll discover whatever the teenage high school years, I'll discover that on my own. I don't need any of that in my head.
This will be one we might need to hold over for the next segment. But Hunter asks at 971BFS on Twitter, hey guys, build your Masters Champions dinner. So maybe that's not something we can get done today, but sometime before next Thursday, we might want to be able to properly address that one.
Yeah. I think Rory crushed it. I know Bake hates Rory, but I think he crushed it. You don't like giving him credit for anything. Completely despise
I was
him.
actually just looking at his menu.
It's pretty good. Do you have it up?
I'll say it's great top to bottom.
Let me see if I can go back here real quick. I went away from it for a second. Let me see if I chose the wrong
filet
tab
or the salmon.
Yeah.
You've got even onion rings involved.
So his appetizers, he's got 4. Peach and ricotta flatbread. Rock shrimp tempura. Bacon wrapped dates. Grilled elk sliders. Then the 4th course here is yellow tuna carpaccio.
Yep.
The main course, Wagyu filet mignon or seared salmon.
Okay.
And then for dessert, some sticky toffee pudding.
It's kind of a no notes. He kind of gets everything that you want there. I mean, that's pretty good. I think most people consider the greatest Masters dinner of all time was, I think it's Adam Scott. Has like an all-timer. But that Rory one's pretty dang good. And I think he did a good job of... Well, didn't he take the recipe for one of the things from La Bernardine?
Yeah, it was like the head chef there.
Yeah, Eric Repair.
Augusta flew their staff to New York to get them to learn how to do it properly.
I mean, God. Jeez.
So Adam Scott's dinner from 2014, artichoke and arugula salad with grilled calamari, Australian Wagyu New York strip.
Yep.
which has sautéed spinach, onion cream, mashed potatoes.
Yep.
His dessert, strawberry and passion fruit pavlova.
Okay.
I don't know what that is. And then a Chardonnay and a Shiraz from Australia.
Yeah, that's the one that a lot of people say was that he crushed it. I think Rory's is going to be right there. It's going to be right there.
So he wants our own Masters dinners.
Yeah, you win the Masters, you get to pick the dinner next year.
Like this is
following year.
This is pretty simple for me.
Okay,
to be quite frank.
You're
Give me
ready?
some kind of. I'm ready right now.
I wrote mine down.
What
too.
do you got in your?
Give me
what do
for
you got
the
in your apps?
The appetizers. Give me some kind of buffalo shrimp.
Okay.
And a candied bacon.
Okay.
Then for my main courses here, I'm going to do like the nicest ribeye I can do, or a stuffed grouper that is stuffed with like scallops and crab meat and shrimp. I'm going to pair both of those with some garlic white cheddar mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
And then for dessert, just give me a nice warm brownie with some vanilla ice cream on top.
That's pretty good, Bake. I'm not going to lie. That's a pretty good rundown there.
What's your dessert?
He has
brownie.
Warm banana, or warm brownie.
And then the beverage, because that's important.
Do they have their beverage on here?
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll
Rory's
do
got
wine
a bunch of red
pairings.
wine.
Rory went nuts.
The most red wine they have at Augusta.
Doesn't he? He got like a Lafite. Isn't he using Lafite? Isn't that the wine he's using? It's like $1,000 bottles of wine.
The cap for the bottle is $1,500 at Augusta, and his are like $2,500, $1,300 from the 90s.
Yeah, so he's not. Yeah, I think Lafite Rothschild is what he did, which is, yeah.
Dustin has a really important question on YouTube. Hey guys, how many chickens would it take to kill an elephant?
Oh gosh, we're not doing the man versus gorilla thing.
This is
again,
chicken
are
versus
we?
elephant.
All right, I've encountered if you have motivated roosters, you give me 1,000 of them, they could get an elephant.
They have to be really the most aggressive roosters ever.
Oh, we had one.
Okay.
We had one who was an awful beast of a being who would not die ever. I mean, my dad thought he was dead several times, and he'd come back to life and just attack you as soon as you walked in. He would wait. Like, I stopped getting eggs at a very young age because of my fear of birds. But I remember my dad, like, going in the chicken coop to, like, go get eggs. And that SOB would wait, like, on the roost, like, behind. And then as my dad turned the corner, he would come down on him and just, with the spurs, go at him. No, dude, they're vicious, awful things.
Do you have
So I think
1,000?
1,000. I said 1,000. I think 1,000 motivated roosters.
Okay.
1,000 little Jerry Seinfelds would do just fine.
I think it's like 1 million.
Chickens?
I can just see like this elephant just swinging his trunk and taking out like 100 of them at once.
Is it? This is
stepping
the
on them.
Key distinction: rooster versus chicken.
Oh, we're
'Cause
going chicken was the question. So chicken.
Okay,
is
well
what
then
we're
a
going
million.
with.
They would never. You could never get motivated. Chickens don't attack
Are
anything.
they not
just
aggressive?
flop
They're not
around.
aggressive. Yeah.
No, you got to have the little roosters. Those are the guys that are a pain in the neck. Chickens don't come at you. They mostly just are scared. They just run away. But the roosters.
So I guess what we're thinking is
Aggressive.
if the elephant's going to kill 100 chickens, it slips on one, falls, and breaks its neck.
Well, but they could, if it was a rooster, they could kind of fly,
Sure.
and then they could hit it with. If they get it with the spurs, I don't know if they could puncture the skin.
I got to tell you, with all this food talk, I'd like to have a little roosters right now.
No, there's no losers there. No losers there. We'll continue with the Hey Guys fun after this quick timeout. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
If you miss a live show, you can catch the podcast. If you miss the podcast, our hosts have volunteered to have dinner with you.
Ma, the meatloaf!
The Fan.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Wilson, energy bills have been crazy as of late, which has had our phone ringing off the hook. Pella windows give you both a home makeover and often an energy bill makeover.
We hear that all the time at the other window place. We love the makeover. No, wait. We want a do-over. That's what they say. Is do-over and makeover the same thing?
Get the windows that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
Spring cleaning isn't just for your house, it's for your life. If your job is getting old, it's time to clear the clutter and spring into IT. Go to My Computer Career.
My Computer Career helped me get the skills and certifications I needed to start a new life as an IT professional in months, not years.
Earn the certifications the top employers are looking for right now. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation to see if it's time to spring into IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
I'm Yolanda Harris. I'm a journalist at 10 TV News. I grew up here, and after 25 years of telling this community's stories, this place still means so much to me. When I'm not in the newsroom, I'm usually out supporting the same people and causes I care deeply about. I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. What happens here affects us all, and that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still. It moves. It moves you to act, to verify, to volunteer, to speak up or lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live. And yes, it moves your heart through the kind of human storytelling that stays with you wherever you are. And at 10 TV, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Central Ohio.
Hey guys, 13-year NFL veteran and Super Bowl champion Jason McCourty here, and I'm the Innovation Ambassador at FAIR, Food Allergy and Research Education. I would say the most challenging thing as a parent of a kid who has a food allergy is probably the ignorance that I myself had in the beginning. I didn't know what anaphylactic shock was. I didn't know the dangers, let alone the things that she needed to be able to have a normal life. When you go to drop your kid off, and every single time in the beginning, we'd have to go through everything she was allergic to. Preparation is everything. And me, for playing football for 13 years, it was all throughout the course of the week. It's getting ready for game day. When you're on the field, you're playing for your fans. At home, you're playing for your family. My playbook, read labels, keep it allergy friendly, and have an epinephrine nasal spray as a backup plan. Because when my family's safe from food allergens, that's the real victory. Visit foodallergy.org to learn more.
All your favorite fan shows are on YouTube, along with those fake YouTube ads like Chew This Gum and It Grows New Teeth. Experience the splendor of Bo sitting in his closet, Timmy Hall's gouty gold chains, and Matty Ice wearing a coat in 90-degree weather. It's all there. Head to YouTube and subscribe today.
We plant trees because people need trees, and when planted in the right place, they have great impact. Trees help slow climate change, filter our air and water, foster biodiversity, and strengthen our communities. They create the kind of transformational change the world needs now. April is a month filled with opportunities to care for and plant trees. For planting resources, contact an Ohio ISA certified arborist who can help you learn how to take the best care of your trees. Visit trees4ohio.org. That's trees4ohio.org.
Hey folks, it's game day and the betting's gonna be intense, Drew. You said it, Dave, but a good pregame routine keeps betting responsible. That's right, you gotta pause before you play. Good call. Sports betting is hot, but it can be risky. And pausing to set limits is an all-star move. That's right, Dave. If you bet on sports, pause before you play to set limits, recognize the risk, and know when to stop. Learn more at pausebeforeyouplay.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Scattered showers and storms on and off throughout the day today, otherwise mostly cloudy and mild with highs in the 60s. And then for tonight, we'll have those chances linger with lows down into the 50s. For Thursday, chances of showers and thunderstorms are back in the forecast with the best chances later in the day, otherwise partly sunny and breezy and warm with highs in the low 80s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
If you haven't thought about Buckeye football today, I'm sorry to tell you that you're dead. Our condolences. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan. Our top men are working on everything except this show. This is Bishop and Friends.
Indeed it is. Time to continue the Hey Guys fun. I did get this one from Brian on social. Hey guys, my question, is this the best use of a sign ever? And then the sign says, it's a Mountain Dew sign, like an old school Mountain Dew sign, and it says, let me have a Diablo sandwich and a Dr. Pepper. Make it fast because I'm in a blank damn hurry.
Yeah. That's elite signage.
Do you have a reference on that, Bake?
I do not.
You chasing somebody, Sheriff? Somebody chasing you? Nobody's a chasing me, boy. I'm a chasing a maniac from Texarkana, Texas. Smokey the Bandit. You've not seen Smokey and the Bandit?
It's been
at your age?
It's been a long time.
Well, reintroduce yourself, sir.
The signs probably. I saw that tweet. I was like, I wonder if the sign's a prop from the movie.
Might be.
It's got all the old school logos.
It really does. This thing about in those days, like, and I heard one of the rejoins for Nephew Tyvis and Brother Bone was Brother Bone is like a ginger Dom DeLuise cruising around Columbus. So I remember Dom DeLuise very well. My guess is the younger audience doesn't remember him at all. But in those days, it was like, wait a second, who's in the movie? Burt Reynolds. What do you want to do? Get a car, have him drive around hijinks. Sold. Done. Like, what was in the movie? Doesn't even matter. What's the premise? It doesn't matter. Cannonball Run, Smokey and the Bandit. We can make multiple sequels. Let's go. Have you guys seen Cannonball Run?
No.
I have not.
So that is that's like Sammy Davis Jr. This is really showing my age. Sammy Davis Jr., Burt Reynolds, Dom DeLuise, Dean Martin is in it. I think Farrah Fawcett's in it. And the idea behind it, if memory serves, I haven't seen it in probably 35 years. The premise is it's a cross-country car race where I think Terry Bradshaw's in it. Now that I think about it. I think all of these humans are in it. And it's a cross-country race. And then, is there a plot? No. They're just trying to get from one part of the country to the other and see who can win the race. Yeah.
Yeah, that Mountain Dew logo on the sign looks like the one they used in 1969 to 1980.
Yeah. So, that would... Yeah.
This has me Googling Smokey and the Bandit and Mountain Dew logos on a First Friday. So good job.
Recently I got a kind of a new fun car, and I wanted to put Ban 1 on the license plate for Smokey and the Bandit. Sadly, it was taken.
I'm sure it was.
Which stinks. I'm guessing. Well, I was hoping enough time had passed that people forgot.
No.
And it doesn't. It's not Bandit. It's Ban 1 is the license. Now the Snowman's is Ban 2.
Because I saw on the license plate, or I saw not license plate, but the movie is 77. So yeah, it does feel like older folks who grew up with that movie, probably once they came into some money and got a fast car for themselves.
Yeah,
flocked that license plate.
Oh, I'm sure. I just wondered if maybe it had gone out of circulation, but my guess is if you get your hands on that one, you don't ever give it up.
Phil asks, hey guys, can we get an update on Bo's Block Blast game?
Yeah. You want an update, Phil? I'll give you a flippin' update.
Did you get Van Gogh?
No. I got the ear done. So I'm now on level 73 of what appears to be about 100. I knocked out like 30 levels yesterday. My wife's like, what are you doing? I'm like, don't worry about it. Just catching up on some email. Because I'm not admitting that I'm doing this, and she doesn't listen to this, so she has no idea. It's gotten pretty cheeky. They're putting a ton of pressure on me. I basically have a day to finish the Van Gogh. It's 100% Van Gogh. There's no question it's Van Gogh. I got about a day to do it, and now it's like taunting me. So like it'll say like if I make like a connection, it will say lucky. Like you're lucky to get that. Go to hell. How about that? Maybe that's what we need to do. I'm gonna have to just delete this. Like if I get whatever happens, if this is gonna go one more day, I'm gonna try to complete the Van Gogh. If I can't do it, it's deleted and I'm out. And I'm never gonna download it again. What an absolute brain rot waste of space.
Is this going to end with a new phone for Bo?
Might.
The old one goes into the wall.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this, Bake. If when this is done, there's no like explosion celebration, and it's just like here's a new board. That's how a phone could go through a window.
You might have to purchase more credits.
Well, that's the other thing. So they hit me with 1,000 ads after every failed attempt at a level.
Yep.
And of course, if I want to just pay $6.99 or whatever the hell it is, then I can get rid of the ads. And I'm tempted to do it even for like a day. One more service I pay for. What is this, honey? Oh, it's Block Blasters. Don't worry about it.
Maybe you could ask for Block Blast gift cards for your birthday.
Block Blast gift card. Oh, it's a new social media thing, honey. They want me to do it for work. Don't worry about it. It's got nothing to do with it.
A little post-birthday present.
That's all it is, yeah.
Connor asks in the YouTube chat, hey guys, should Jake Diebler take a page out of Ryan Day's book and start hiring former NBA staffers?
I think he would love to if he could.
Would they want to go back to the college game?
I don't know if the guys who are coaching at Ohio State necessarily wanted to go back to the college game.
Sure.
I think the money works, and so you do it for a little bit, and then you try to rehabilitate and you go somewhere else, I think is probably how it would work. It's just, you have to understand that Ohio State basketball and Ohio State football are just two, and I think all of you all know this, they're just two very different things from a priority standpoint. So, I think it's going to be interesting. I think next year is going to be very fascinating because I think as this roster is starting to come together and you think about the makeup and you think about, a five-star kid. I mean, I watched it at Kansas, and not to say that's going to happen with Anthony Thompson, but like there was incredible pressure on Darren Peterson before he had the health stuff. It was like, if he doesn't get 28 a night, it's like, what happened? And he was the best player in college basketball. I mean, he's the best player. It didn't work the way that they wanted it to, but he was the best player. And so I just think this is going to be a very interesting season next year because there's going to be a tremendous amount of pressure, and Thompson is going to do, we haven't had this here where like you expect the world from a 19-year-old, but you're going to with him. And you can't say, well, he's just a freshman. Well, DeBonce is a freshman. Boozer's a freshman. They're all freshmen.
With the Ohio State and the football part, college football is getting closer to the NFL than it ever has. Mm-hmm. So I think getting those guys in there really helps with the way the game is changing. I don't know if college basketball is doing that. I think college basketball, in a little ways, even though you have the roster turnover, is kind of going away because you're trying to skew a little older and maybe more experienced, veteran-laden teams. So I don't know. I think maybe the route of the mid-major guys is a little better than that of the NBA-type guys.
I'm not sure if Connor asked the question because of the news that Joel Justice, Ohio State's associate head coach, is joining Mark Byington's staff at Vanderbilt. So there's an opening there that Jake Diebler's going to need to fill. And they're looking to hire a general manager for the Buckeye basketball team in the offseason. So those are two key positions that you're going to need to take from someone, whether it be your history, whether it be at the mid-major, the MAC level, somebody that you've played with, or somebody from the National Basketball Association. I mean, St. Bonaventure hired Woj. Mm-hmm. So everybody's trying to do something different. We'll stick with college basketball. Mr. Leaper asks, hey guys, name 3 mid-major coaches that are overachieving that we could look at if Diebler isn't the guy. He adds, thank you for all the abuse you take. Also, Baker should have worn dress pants today for his April Fool's Day gag.
Sounds terrible.
Oh, gosh. I'm not arrogant enough to know, like, who's a coach that would be. I just think it's a really hard thing.
Would Travis Steele do it for you?
I mean, it feels like it. It feels like he crushed it. But I mean, he was at Xavier and that didn't work. So like, I don't know. I think it's a really hard thing to land it. And I don't have a name off the top of my head that I'm like, oh yeah, hire, is Anthony Grant still at Dayton? Like, is that something where, he was at Florida? Like, does that land? Like, I don't know what that is. I think that's a very difficult task because I think what you're trying to hire for now is such a different thing. The guy, they're not really a mid-major. I'm in the Big 12, but like the guy that they just hired at Cincinnati does a hell of a job. It seems like everywhere he goes, he won. He won big at Youngstown, won at Utah State right away, and now he'll get a chance to do it at Cincinnati. So, but I mean, the big point here is I think Jake's going to be just fine. And so the idea of trying to find replacements in the mid-majors, I think, is really difficult because it's kind of a flavor of the month thing too, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
It can be. I think there's 3 obvious that jump out. One, you said Travis Steele. I think the other is John Gross, who just got hired from Akron to go to Charleston. And then St. Louis's Josh Schertz, I think, is a guy that everybody would be interested. Here's another name I'm going to give you, a guy that I really like, Tony Skinn. He's the head coach of George Mason. He's a younger guy, too, only 43 years of age. He has a record at George Mason in 3 years as their head coach of 70-31. He's a guy that played at George Mason. I believe he was on that team that made the run.
He was.
For them. Tony Skinn is a guy that I would be interested in.
He was also on Holtman's staff for a short time, I believe.
He was. I think you have that right.
21-22.
He came in and said something about like the DMV being the most fertile basketball region in the country, and Timmy Hall almost lost it. Remember we were doing the Buckeyes show,
right,
and Skinn dropped that line, and it was Timmy had to go
too.
home.
I don't want to steal your guy, but Jeff Bowles would be. I think it's really difficult to sit here and try to project who's going to work from the mid-major. I mean, there wasn't much doubt that Dusty May was going to work at Michigan. Like, you could just kind of tell the way that all of that had gone. So, I mean, that one was one that you could kind of tell. But whoever the coach is, the investment has to be matched in the roster. Because that's really, Don Staley's 100% right. These kids now, but what are you paying me? And the rest of it kind of goes away. That's just kind of where we are, unfortunately, in the sport. The NFL owner meetings wrapped up. Some of the headlines from that coming up in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
Planet Fitness has everything you need to power your progress, so you can give everything you've got, all for just 1 cent down. Whether you want to get the most out of our best-in-class equipment or go all in with free fitness training, our trainers are ready to help you get stronger than ever before. Take your workout to the next level at Planet Fitness. Join the club today for 1 cent down, $15 a month. No commitment. Deal ends Friday, April 10th. You ready? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone here for Window Nation. Spring has arrived, and it'll be a great time to open your windows. But, oh, wait, your windows don't open easily. They leak when it rains. They've got cracked glass. They need repainting again. Ugh. Getting top quality custom fit windows from Window Nation, that's easy and affordable. Right now, during the More You Buy, the More You Save sale, you could save up to 50% off all your windows. Plus, you could get them with 0 interest for 5 years. During uncertain times, one of the best investments you can make is in your home. Experts report that windows retain 80% of their value. With Window Nation, you'll get windows that easily slide open and closed. They are made with top quality seals so they won't leak when it's rainy or windy. And unlike other windows, they're maintenance free. They're so good, Window Nation stands behind them with a lifetime warranty. And they're rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau. Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Save big with Window Nation's The More You Buy, The More You Save sale. Going on now. Sale ends soon, so visit windownation.com for your consultation.
When you are a member of Tel-Ohio, your money works harder for you. Lock in 4% APY on a 24-month CD and watch your savings grow with a credit union built for its members. Visit tellohio.org to learn more.
Federally insured by NCUA. Membership open to anyone in Ohio. Restrictions apply.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. The show that understands the importance of a situational beverage. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
NFL owners meetings came and went in the Valley of the Sun. I think from a local perspective, I mean, some of the comments from the Browns front office and ownership in regard to the quarterback got a lot of attention, certainly. The Myles Garrett conversation gets a little bit of attention as well with the restructuring of that contract. I did not hear anything out of Cincinnati. Nothing.
Were they even there?
They have to be.
Well, I know that Zach Taylor spoke for 40 minutes yesterday. Somebody had posted, so.
Isn't that something?
You could do that and say nothing.
Yeah, like you have two NFL franchises in this state. One that is covered, gosh almighty, and they're great guys who cover the Bengals beat. I love like Petraglia and Morrison and our buddy Ben Baby. Like they're awesome and great reporters who are on it. But I don't see, and some of it could be just be my association with the Browns. I don't see like the going over every word with a fine-tooth comb the way that the Browns is. I don't see that same thing. Like do you guys have a single headline from the Bengals availabilities? Now Mike Brown didn't talk. He only does Turtle Soup Day.
I did see something, and I don't know if it was from their availability or not. I would have to go back and look, but I did see something about the continued develop of Shamar Stewart is key for the Bengals.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's something Zach Taylor said or it came from the ownership or what.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's because, and again, it could just be, just because I work with the Browns, and so that could be part of it. the other thing that kind of came out of the teams we pay attention to was in regard to the Steelers. Mike McCarthy kind of held court for a while out there and talked about how, kind of their understanding was that they would know from Aaron Rodgers before the draft what he was doing. I'm just going to go with what I went with last year. It worked last year. It's going to go this year. I just don't think an organization like the Steelers would not address quarterback before now if there was any inkling that he wasn't returning. I mean, to me, he's coming back. I mean, what they did at the receiver position in free agency, what they've done in trades, the way they're building the roster, it appears to me like he's coming back. I don't see even who they hired as a coach. I mean, it just feels like that he'll be back.
So that's a big one. And obviously with me and hearing all the smoke around Minnesota, because I had thought like any of these free agent quarterbacks, the preferred destination for any of them would have been Minnesota. Once the Murray stuff was inked or at least agreed upon and that news was announced, it's like, okay, Rodgers has really one spot to go, and that's Pittsburgh. If he wants to compete and wants to have another shot at a Super Bowl. But
yeah,
what the hell that's going to look like, but you got to start somewhere. And for Rodgers, it's, I guess, probably letting McCarthy know, hey, I'll be there when you need me.
Yeah. One of the big things that it's not coming out of the owner meetings, but it's becoming official in the owner meetings. I saw this, I want to say our friends at Awful Announcing posted this, but it was a video of Roger Goodell, and he's on the NFL Network show, The Insiders, with Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissaro, and I can't remember who the other guy is on that, but there's three of them that host that show. And he's on this show. Today is the last day of the NFL Network being run by the NFL. So tomorrow, the NFL Network still exists. It'll just be run by ESPN. You think about the impact that the NFL Network had on that league's success, how much the cable buy through all those years lined the pockets. I told you guys the Rich Eisen story when I ran into him at the Combine, and he was, little did I know that I was the source of his Buckeye angst for all of these years. Think about Eisen, who was hired to be the face of that from ESPN all those years ago. And that's going to go away in terms of it being an NFL property. And it's just an example. You think about the NFL Network was it was the roadmap for what Delaney did with the Big Ten Network. Yeah, they saw it and said, hey, they got something to this.
I remember the first time I'd really watched the NFL Network, and it wasn't really until I started working here. And I remember you telling me, because I would see it up on a television somewhere in the building sometimes. Like, oh, that's a thing. Who's watching this, though? Yep. And then you would tell me that it's on in every single building in the NFL. Every franchise had it on in their weight rooms, had it on in their training rooms, had it on in their cafeterias.
Yes.
Everyone in the NFL is watching the NFL Network.
Yes. Yeah. And those guys that are on it, when you see them like at the Combine, they are the kings of the castle because it's all their network. The other thing that the NFL Network did is it gave the NFL the blueprint for how to leverage their product versus cable buy. In those days, it was cable buy. Because one of the first, they didn't do it right away. It didn't happen right away. But in relatively short order, they started throwing regular season NFL games on Thursdays on the NFL Network. You want to watch the NFL? Call your local cable provider. You're going to need the NFL Network. And then they leveraged that network against DirecTV and Dish and all the other old traditional ways that we used to watch sports. And they're doing that now with the streamers. They're repeating it with the streamers. They just probably came to the realization of, we don't want to be in the television business anymore. So we'll farm this out to ESPN. They'll run it. They know how to run the television business. And we're going to work on international. We're going to work on playing games in other continents. We got to go find some money. And we're going to start leveraging the streamers. That's what it is.
And they got that equity in the National Football League. Or no, NFL got the equity in ESPN.
Yes.
They own 10% of the worldwide leader.
Good Lord. Yeah. They are almost too big to fail, are they not?
They're the one. Like when, Baker was, we were talking about the NCAA ratings, and they seem low compared to the NFL. Everything is low compared to the NFL. Like, you cannot put the NFL ratings-wise up against anything and think there's going to be a comparable. That's why the NFL is gobbling every day that it can. And other leagues are like, well, we'll try something, but with the understanding that they're going to get crushed ratings-wise.
Yeah, this year on opening weekend, Reese, to your point, they're playing Wednesday night, Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Monday, opening weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, that is truly getting after it. Yeah, I would, it's an interesting one. What do you think is the second most bulletproof sports league on the planet?
I'd say college football. Oh, league on the planet?
Yeah.
European soccer.
I think it's the Premier League.
Premier League, yeah.
In England. I think they have they're so set up. They're so, the problem with the other European leagues is it's certainly a hierarchy. In Spain, Barcelona, Real Madrid, obviously with anybody, but then a massive drop. Same thing in Germany with Bayern Munich and Dortmund, and then a pretty big drop. In France, there's a couple of teams. In Italy, there's a couple of teams, but it's a massive fall off. I think it's probably the Premier League in terms of the most stable, successful league other than the NFL on the planet.
And honestly, you'd have to.
And I wonder if the Premier League is, honestly, the NBA is probably third.
I'd imagine,
as much as it's fallen off here local in the States, I think it's probably third in the world.
In terms of eyeballs, there's got to be maybe like a cricket or a rugby league that we're not thinking of. Because the international appeal, cricket just crushes it ratings-wise, but because we don't consume it at all really over here. Probably the NBA is, and that's why I think the NBA. It's not why. I mean, I think that the international flavor for the NBA has certainly helped it.
Mm-hmm.
Why they're expanding to playing games. I think they did one in Dubai, I want to say. They've done games in Africa, Paris. They're trying to do the same global takeover the NFL is.
It's probably the most similar to soccer in that it's played everywhere. Hoops. Hockey's so limited where it can be played. Baseball, I mean, there's really no baseball in Europe to speak of. The whole continent is kind of ignored. I don't know if there's baseball in Africa or not, but there's basketball on every continent.
Yeah, because they're doing cricket over there in England, too.
Yeah.
They've got a bat ball sport.
I don't understand it. I have no idea what's going on in cricket. I got nothing.
Something about a wicket.
I guess so.
It's like almost like baseball with a golf swing, isn't it?
I don't know.
I've seen it.
A running start, I think.
The running start on the pitch, and you got pads on the knees and such, and I think the ball's really hard, and I think the games last forever.
But some of those crowds you see in India and Australia and New Zealand, it's insane the number of people.
Yeah. You have, 200,000 people watching these things. And so that might be there. But it's pretty good. Two significant changes really quickly from the replay. First set of Tuesday's approved changes will create a massive expansion for authority for the staffers in the league office in New York, allowing them to consult with on-field referees on a wide variety of called and uncalled penalties and other administrative procedures. My only note on that would be quick. Be quick.
Which refs?
You can all see it. Be quick. You got to be. You got that wrong. Flip it now. I don't want to see anybody walking over to a little screen anymore. Second change to replay review will represent a notable shift for owners who previously sought to limit its scope. For the first time, replay officials in New York will have the authority to both disqualify a player and direct that a penalty be enforced even if on-field officials had not thrown a flag in the case of either flagrant football act or non-football act. That one I have a problem with.
So, Bo, that one's going to happen regardless. That first one is only going to happen, I believe, if they go to the replacement refs.
Okay. Well, the second one is going to be a nightmare. You can't have eye in the sky watching the whole field for every sort of thing that's done wrong, or you're never going to be able to get a game played.
These games are long enough as it is.
More commercials.
Yeah, it's too much. That one is going to be, the execution of that is going to be very, very tricky. Get your officially endorsed in 3 things coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious, with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best.
This Ohio State football spring practice report is brought to you locally on The Fan by Roosters and by your Ohio Kubota dealers.
Ohio State football spring practice report.
Led by Jeremiah Smith and Brandon Ennis, this year's wide receiver room blends returners with newcomers and has received early praise this spring from head coach Ryan Day.
We're as deep as we've been in a while there. Obviously Jeremiah leads the way, but Brandon's right there with them. And then you have Kyle and Devin, who both come in, had really good practices today, just for day one, seeing a couple of veteran guys go out there and make plays, know exactly what they're doing. Pros already, you can just see it. Now we'll see when the pads come on what that looks like. We also have, some other guys pushing in those areas, like Phil Bell and Dez, but then you have the young guys, and they're coming too. It's fun to watch them. They flashed. They didn't quite know what they were doing all day today, but they were working at it. And Chris hit a big post. Quay hit an over. Brock had a couple nice plays. I mean, all those guys have bright futures here.
This report was brought to you by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center and by Weber Grills. I'm Tyler Danberg on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
There's one medical team in Central Ohio skilled enough to care for your favorite Ohio State team, and Buckeyes everywhere. The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center is your choice for the most highly specialized orthopedic and sports medicine care. Our surgeons, physicians, and physical therapists have access to the most advanced treatments and innovative recovery approaches to get you back in your game. Because on or off the field, our team is your team. The choice for your orthopedic care is clear.
Buckeye fans, game day just got hotter. Whether you're parked in the shoe lot or grilling at home, it's not a tailgate without Weber Grill's Traveler Grill. Fires fast, folds flat, fits compact, and delivers championship flavor every time. Burgers, brats, steaks, even rival fans agree. Bring the taste of victory wherever you grill. The Weber Traveler Grill. Tailgate tough. Buckeye proud. Weber Grills. Taste the tradition. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hello, I'm Ross Bjork, Senior Vice President and Eugene Smith Wolf Foundation Endowed Athletics Director at The Ohio State University. In partnership with AEP, Donatos, Kroger, The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, Huntington, and 10 TV, Ohio State Athletics strives to inspire the community to make a positive impact on children and families in our great state through the Buckeyes Care Initiative. Show and share your support in the community by using the hashtag BuckeyesCare.
Thinking about buying your first home? Now, with Third Federal, you can buy your first home and pay no PMI. Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. Private mortgage insurance, or PMI, can cost thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. And you may not realize PMI doesn't protect you. It only protects the lender in case of default. But at Third Federal, you can buy a home with just 5% down and no PMI. Plus, first-time home buyers get $750 off a closing cost. So if you're thinking about buying your first home, go for it and visit thirdfederal.com.
Even before you find a home, lock in 5.99% APR, 6.02% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3rd-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. See conditions for closing cost coupon at thirdfederal.com/FTHB. Equal housing lender.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for almost 80 years. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
The best hair on the air. You are listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, Reese, what in the poll today?
Daily Fan Poll sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub. It asks, will you be partaking in any April Fool's chicanery today? Options are yes, can't wait, no, because I'm an adult. I hope not is the third option. 53% say no because I'm an adult. 31% say I hope not. 16% say yes, can't wait.
Do you guys think it would be funny if we sat the boys down at dinner and said, we have something to tell you, your mother and I are getting a divorce?
No, that would be so dark.
And then hit him with an April
Oh, my
Fool's?
God. You'd have to record it.
Choosing violence.
Yeah. I did not think that's where you were going.
Don't even joke about that.
That's probably a bit too close.
Maybe the mask and the knifey
Yeah, we did
skit
that.
outside. That's probably the limit.
There's supposed to be fun light jokes.
Fun light joke. Let's go heavy.
Jeez.
You can almost hear Steve Carell doing that, couldn't you? Like on an episode of The Office. Like, wouldn't that be right up his? That'd be his type of
They do say there's a little bit of truth in every joke. What are you trying to say here, Bo?
Only prison, Mike. Yeah.
Still betrothed, kids. Time for your officially endorsed. Hit it, boys.
Bishop and Friends present First Friday, officially endorsed, because everyone deserves 2 Fridays.
You drink for the wrong reasons. My generation, we drink because it's good, because it feels better than unbuttoning your collar, because we deserve it. We drink because it's what men do.
All right, so this one inspired by something I put together last week. My wife likes a pina colada, and so I said, well, I wonder how we can do this where it's not just a bomb of sugar, but you still get that same type of flavor profiles that you get in a pina colada. So let me see what I can do. So my favorite rum to have is Barber Court rum. So I went and got a bottle of that. I found coconut bitters online, so I had those delivered to the house. So I did coconut bitters, Barber Court rum, and then I splashed over rocks, and I splashed a little bit of pineapple juice. And wouldn't you know it? Pretty dang close. Pretty dang close. And not something that's a frozen cocktail of sugar. It was quite enjoyable. By the way, that rum, if you're just looking for a change of pace, is a delight on its own over rocks. It's a delight all time. But that was one I put together last week. I don't have a name for it. I just created it, trying to find a way to do something in the pina colada world that maybe didn't have quite the sugar intake of the frozen ones that you get at your various resorts. It wasn't quite on that level, but it was pretty dang good if you're looking for that flavor profile. Time for 3 things. Hit it, guys.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3 things.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, number 1 for me. You guys remember last year when my wife purchased a lamb cake for Easter?
I do remember
that debacle. I mean, that wonderful festive time.
Yeah. So
Hence
lamb
the
is
divorce
terrifying.
talk.
That's right. This is how you end up in divorce. I love you, honey. She knows it. So this damn thing was like $50. I threw the whole thing away. It was crazy trying to cut it up. Like I felt like I was severing the lamb's head. Like it was nuts. I want no part of it. So I overhear a conversation she's having with Bootsy. Well, do you want the lamb cake? Yeah. I said, well, she goes, well, Bootsy really wants the lamb cake. I said, well, how did you phrase it? Did you say, what did you want for dessert for Easter? Or did you say, did you want the lamb cake? She said, do you want the lamb cake? And I said, well, of course he's going to green light that. It's cake. It's sugar. It's things he loves. Of course he's going to green light it. I will report that I did win. We canceled the lamb cake purchase. I told her, I said, I'm not decapitating another one of those things. It's not happening. Figure something else out.
Yeah.
Well, she acquiesced. It was a good job.
I would just be generally against anything you have to decapitate to serve.
I mean, it's a cake lamb, but
still.
It's a crazy looking thing.
Tonight at 6:24 Eastern, Artemis 2 is going to launch from Florida. First time since 1972, a manned expedition's going around the moon and back. So best of luck to everybody doing that. That's awesome. That there's a renewed, there's enthusiasm towards going back to the moon. That's cool. Science rules.
Meredith's all over it. She's real jacked up about it, I saw. Garfalo.
Space Girl.
Yeah.
First thing for me, I'm usually not a fan of expanding replay, and especially I wasn't a huge fan of the ABS system with the balls and strikes in baseball and these challenges. But I will say, CB Buckner, we've all known he's a bad umpire for a long time. Well, boy, is it getting proven. And hopefully with this, Major League Baseball can do something about it. 6 of 8 were overturned over the weekend with him as he was doing the Reds game. All 6 of those were pitches that he called strikes that ended up being balls. And then yesterday, maybe one of the most egregious calls I've ever seen. He called Jake Bauers of the Milwaukee Brewers out at first base, saying he didn't hit first base when he clearly put his foot right in the middle of first base. It was so bad that both umpires just had to laugh about it. Hopefully Major League Baseball can get rid of this bum.
It's pretty, I mean, I don't know. I think he'll probably quit. Like, how could he possibly even do the job that he was doing previously now with this, held to this standard? I mean, there's just no way. when you're being fact-checked on everything. It's like live Google. Number 2 for me, yesterday I said how much I was excited about having spring sports back. Today, the opposite, because basically what you do is every day you are at the mercy of lightning and rain and garbage. And I do think if you are in a community and if you have the ability to, you need to really fundraise massive facilities that are indoors. Because if you really want to have your programs be good at spring sports and you don't have a field house, you're not going to have a chance. Because half this stuff gets canceled all month of April.
Second thing out of me, I'm glad they're doing the rubber match between the Guardians and the Dodgers at an easier time for Eric, 8:40 for Game 3 of that set out in Los Angeles.
I was happy when I saw that.
I don't ever want people to lose their jobs, but if the ABS system is already, showing how bad some of these umpires are, like CB Buckner is a bad umpire in a bad system. Maybe they should just go with the robots the entire time. You get a green light and a red light, and you stop with the human umpires behind the plate.
Guys, it is April Fool's Day, so not all jokes are easily to see, like Bo saying he's going to get a divorce to the boys here. But there were a couple that I've seen today on social media that almost got me. One was a high school team here in Ohio that is going to make their field yellow for next year. And then the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp put out on their website that they were going to have shrimp-flavored cotton candy. Be careful, guys. Be careful. Not all of it's true, what you see today.
Oh, my gosh. Be careful out there, kids. We'll leave on that note. Up against it a little bit anyway. Enjoy your first Friday. Act accordingly. We are back tomorrow. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
All the Ohio State conversation you can handle. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
Your Ohio State flagship station. The